was.
Well, congratulations on your Frankenstein.
Wow, I paid not to get a Frankenstein, but them's the breaks. Oh, it's fine, it's good. So welcome back to the dungeon of the Mad Mage. Successful routing of the Triss's house last week. So well done on that. If there's any other things you wish to do before you head on to Skullport on this level, now would be your chance. Otherwise, it's off to Skullport.
I'm gonna leave Trissa zombie behind before we go.
I'm sure you'll find another one equally amusing.
Yeah, maybe when we're around people, I will leave zombies.
Your social graces and all that.
I want to make sure. Did we get a description of the dagger? Exactly what it looked like from I forgot the hobgoblin. His wife's name. I forgot her name.
It is it's got a bone-shaped handle, like a bone handle, like a fairly standard blade. But the pummel is shaped almost like an eye. So eye pummel, normal handle, normal blade. So
Okay.
the most notable thing about it is its handle looks like an eye. And Azrock is dagger.
Yeah. Just want to make sure we knew that because before we head on out. Thank you. And then, Art, you were talking about, or Saeed, you were talking about we have money due us, or
Ah, yes. Let me find it.
and
I
then I'm
wrote it
over
down
there.
somewhere.
I think it's on the party loot page.
Yes. Everyone, let me just post it in the chat.
Thank you.
Oh, that's the party that you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's also, do you remember what Three Strings asked you to do in Skullport specifically, Sayed?
To take this bag of gold to my notes kind of got messy. Hella? No, not Hella.
Yeah, I'll give you a hint. Does that look familiar?
It does.
Do you remember where you were supposed to meet them?
In Skullport, but if anything, I have sending now, and I could just send him a quick message. The flagon. Okay, there he goes. I saw the flagging dragon. I was like, why do I have that written down?
So one of the inns in Skullport. Okay.
Okay.
So that was from Three Strings. Give a little mini quest there. Any other questions before we, or anything else you want to finish here in level 3?
I'm just going to it's a new thing now that I can doff and don my armor with an action. So I'm going to doff my armor and just wear regular clothes while in Skullport.
Okay. How are you getting to Skullport?
Oh, do we want to take the boat?
Yeah.
Pay the ferryman?
Yeah.
Yeah, the ferryman, yeah.
Seems like a nice guy.
I should tell you that Skullport is not especially close. From talking to your hobgoblin allies by foot, it's probably about a 2-day journey. It's not especially close. It would be a bit quicker using the ferryman, but not. Might be like a day and a half, something like that.
Then I'll keep my armor on.
I thought you might say that.
Well, I guess either way, since it's not a huge time saver, I guess it depends on if we want to explore on the way to Skullport. are we still? We're still with the hobgoblins. Can we? If so, can we ask them some questions? Like, is it just a straight shot to Skullport? Or is there? Are there places to get lost?
They say as long as you follow the tunnels and keep turning left, we can't really go wrong.
What do you guys think?
I think we should, to be safe, take the ferry.
Take the
Yeah.
ferry? Okay. Let's do it.
Okay, easy enough to do. So, oops. So the ferry is fairly sizable enough already. Who's riding where? The ferryman will kind of sit right at the bow of the boat. Where's everybody else? Who's up front?
I'm probably the lightest, so wherever the lightest should go.
Up front would kind of make sense. So snapper towards front. Who else?
Someone probably with dark vision. I'll go next, or next to Snapper if we can sit side by side.
Yes, you can. So Snapper and Valen right next to each other. Oh, sorry, was that Kane? Okay.
Oh, that was Balin.
That was Valen. Okay. And in the middle?
Side will go in the middle.
Okay. Kane, might make sense for you to go in the middle with all your heavy armor on.
Yep, sounds like a strategy.
And that would leave Joseph.
And Cross.
Joseph and Cross at the back. And at the very back is the ferryman.
Trying to go in the river. I want to see you. I want to see you. Face me. You put the back of the chair towards me. Oh, I should let you do that. I'm sorry. Oh, it reminds me of something. And mage armor for Joseph, I'm going to cast when we get on the boat. I'm not going to cast it earlier than the boat.
Okay, so you approach the ferryman. So it's he's a for some reason actually jumped you to level 23. Pretty sure not a level 23. So this is less like a boat, more like a gondola. Like a ferryman is putting a 10-foot pole in it and pushes it along. Okay. And so you get on and he doesn't say anything. I assume you indicate that you want to go to Skullport.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
So he gets on the boat, doesn't say a word. You'll pile in, as I said before. I assume the familiars are up the way safely somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And you start the long haul to Skullport. The ferryman is just constantly digging his hole into the ground and gradually winding your way down the river. And in some places it's quite rocky. In some places he asks you to get out when you lift the boat over certain areas. And in other times it's wide enough and the ferryman barely needs to paddle at all. The first day goes by uneventfully. You do manage to catch some shut-eye on the boat. Notice crossbow long wrist. Just so it's ready when you're here. And Even throughout the night, the ferryman constantly digs his hole and pushes you through it. He just doesn't stop. So the first day, pretty uneventful. Nothing much of note to say. However, could everybody please make me a perception check? First roll of the night. Set the tone.
Roll a 2.
It's an unusual roll for me. I'll take it.
Yeah, it's no modifiers. Not too bad. Let's do perception for Cross. It's a shocker. So as you're going by, you're all not really paying attention. Things get very, very monotonous. You're the only person that noticed this. There's a lot of stalactites, stalagmites, and you look up at one of these things, and it starts falling straight towards you. Then another, then another, then another, then another, and all these stalactites just start falling down and crashing down on top of you. We're just gonna get some initiative as we go through this, and I'll drag you across to the riverboat. We can all roll some initiative. Alright, so Ken, I'm not surprised by this. You see it happening just before it even happens. But you're not good enough to stop this first one, which comes down. And you look above it, this stalactite just detaches from up there and goes straight for Joseph. Just falling from there. You get a little closer look. You see, they're not actually really stalactites, they're creatures. This is eyes. It falls going straight for Joseph. Maybe the boat as well. Falls down, drops onto Joseph. Joseph from Port Black. Not expecting this, but it narrowly misses you. Snapper it. What the hell's happening? What do I do for them? And then Kane, you see this one come and narrowly miss Joseph in the boat, pops into the water. What do you do?
I'm gonna. It's in the boat, you said?
Narrowly glanced off the boat as it was about to hit Joseph, just carrying just in the water at the top.
I'm gonna. I don't know. I'm gonna let it go.
Alright, Alan, you're caught flat-footed as well. And something else.
Getting worse.
See another stalactite. But this one has long, skinny arms, and it's directly above the boat. And I'm not sure what it looks like, but I still know what this is.
Nasty looking.
My mother-in-law.
Roper.
One of the ropes shoots out. Whoosh, going for Cross. This is Cross terribly. Another one shoots out for Joseph. Joseph, it does hit you. You are grappled by this creature. It doesn't do any damage, but it wraps around you. time lucky for Cross. This is Cross for the third time. Another one of these horrible things crashing down from the ceiling. This one going for Spain. Falls down. Once again, you managed to push buttons. Here, more of these things start falling from the sky.
As I was looking at these things, Malcolm, are they like everywhere, or is it like, gosh, if we would just actually row over that direction, there's less of them or none of them? Are they, Malcolm, the one that first fell that I kind of watched, what happens when they hit the water? Do they keep sinking? Are they floating? What are they doing?
They splash onto the water, then they look as if it's a sliver over here. Not quite sure.
Okay. More of those.
There. Two of them go for Bellin. 24. Bellin will get grappled by one of these creatures. Its tendrils wrap around you. Another one of these goes Snipper. Snipper gets grappled as well. Joseph! You got this massive tendril wrapped around you. You can't move. You're in the grappling state.
Okay. How deep is the water here? Does it look, 30 feet, 20 feet deep? And is this land over here I can stand on over here?
Looks about 20 feet deep. He says the entrance.
Yeah. So if I could get here, it's ground I could stand on, right? Okay. Okay. I am going to. Later, guys. No.
Good for you, dude.
All right. I'm going to Misty Step. It's verbal only, so I should be able to Misty Step out of the grapple. Correct?
Did I lose everybody?
I'm here.
I'm here. It did go quiet there for a second, but
It did. It was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm just making sure the range. I'm sorry, I was trying to get the spell up. Kind of 30. So I'm going to Misty Step to there. That's 30.
Yep.
And then I'm going to. It's my spell for the round. I'll just go here, and I will then Ray of Frost onto this guy right here.
Okay.
Sorry, I clicked it and it wasn't coming up. There it goes. 13. Okay.
These creatures, by the way,
That's it. I'm done.
Dang it.
It's grappled as well. It's 5, 4.
Yep.
Snapper, keep your wits around you.
All right, is it this guy right here?
Yes.
Okay. So my new armor has a node in the center, kind of like Iron Man. So we're going to do some lightning fun.
Nice.
Alrighty then. I think that's all I can do.
So you said they're 40 feet up in the air, correct? 50. Oh, 50. Okay. So if I were to cast a spell and aim it above us, would the spell just stay up there and only hit them? If like I aim it directly above us?
What's the spell?
Sickening Radiance.
Description for it?
Oh, wrong one. Spell card, spell card.
Range. Yeah, absolutely, you can do that.
Okay. So I will do that above us. Circle, 30 foot. I guess all of them. Can't move it anymore though, for some reason. Oh, there it goes. Yes. So. Mhm. So, 2 pass, 1 fails. The one that fails suffers a point of exhaustion. And I think it takes half damage. Oh no, it doesn't take anything if it passes. Oh, I did already. It's up there. The 20 damage. Mm-hmm.
Nice. Sickening Radiance above it. Nice use of the spell. It's a concentration. It's concentration.
Yep.
See you next your turn.
Yep.
This one that landed on the floor. Slithering. Five feet that way. Dash action moves another 5 feet. Make a swipe at that,
Just have to be with like a melee weapon, right? Okay. Okay. Nope.
Yeah, and I will use my newly acquired ability here with my Misty Step, and I think I mashed it out. Looks like I can get to this square. So, go to there, and then so that's a bonus action. So then I'm going to use my arrow and try to hit that guy. Let's see what we can do here. Okay. I will attack again. Let's see here. There we go. All right.
It's still It's still subtracting arrows, Eric.
Oh, that's Kane.
Oh,
He's
forget you, Kane.
forget you, buddy.
All right, that's my turn. Thanks, Malcolm.
That's right. Look at that, natural 20, but it doesn't count.
No. That was for Balin. Kane,
Yeah, I think
it doesn't affect Kane.
Yeah, I think mine's working. Balin's is working.
I gave it to Balin, not Kane, so Kane should
Sorry.
come down.
Yep.
Sorry.
Put it back. Yeah.
We'll get it sorted out.
Cool.
Okay, balance. What you got?
Yep. So this is the guy that's got me. Then I take it.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So I can still shoot with my bow even though I'm grappled, right? Okay. Well, I'm in a boat. I can't go very far unless I want to swim, I guess. So I'll just stay put. So I'm gonna do my first 2 shots. And then for my my last shot, I'm going to use my newly required steady aim here, since I'm not moving anyways. And so I have advantage, so I believe that I also will get my sneak attack on him because I have advantage, right?
You hit?
Yep. Hit.
That does it.
Oh, should I roll again just to see if I get a critical?
Oh, sure.
Yeah. I did not. So okay, so we'll go here. Alright. Plus the sneak, right? So we've got... Yeah, so the extra 4 there is my Gloomstalker extra attack bonus, which so should be negative. Yeah. Welcome.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
We can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, this is kind of a new headset, so I'm still trying to configure it. So sorry about that.
The sound quality is good, but just a little quiet. And make sure you guys leveled up as well.
Yep.
Yep.
Spot on. Thank you on that. Wait, 7. That's right.
8.
Yep.
Wait, what? No, we're level 8, right?
Yeah, we're level 8.
Are we really? I've been behind then. Let me take a few minutes to get myself to level 8. It's a bonus day for me, guys.
Level up twice.
Yeah.
Should be level 8. Yeah.
We should be level 8.
Yep.
Alright, that's awesome.
Let's roll you into the initiative, or did I roll crosscut? Once you're in roll 20, just roll initiative for yourself. You'll get in order.
Sure.
So what happened? You're traveling down the river to get to Skullport. But on the way, you took the ferry there. But on the way, you were attacked by these things. It's like a good 2-day journey to get there. So who was attacking last time?
Balin just finished.
Okay, so this roper, which has nobody, it's completely ignoring the ferry drone, by the way.
So make a Constitution save.
Constitution save, thank you. So Constitution save was a natural 1.
Okay, so he takes 18 damage and 1 point of exhaustion.
Okay, so let me do his attacks first. So this is all going across. 26, so first hit. Cross.
Yep.
You are grappled by this thing, a tendril wraps around you. It's going to actually pull you 25 feet in the air. down 30 feet. This one's 20 feet in the air to get outside of your sphere thing.
Okay.
And it starts pulling you up, Krosk, and it's just about to feed you into its mouth. You might get a chance to slither out of it, but that's what it's gonna want to do. This piercer is gonna take the dash action. Go over there. This piercer gonna take the dash action. Go over there. And this piercer is gonna take the dash action and go over there. And this roper. Oops, this roper.
Another Constitution.
Yep. 15.
That fails. So 24 and a level of exhaustion.
Exhaustion now, and it's gonna drop down. This sphere, so drop down 30 feet. That's a height of 20. So I'm gonna say this one has Balin, and this one has Krosk inside. I forget which way around it went.
He's got me too.
Oh, sorry.
He's got.
So not Krosk, sorry, Snapper. I'm always doing that. Snapper inside. And it starts reeling you up towards it, and you're both raised 25 feet in the air. Trying to swing out this way. And once again, similar to Krosk, it's just about to feed you into your mouth. I'll put you there, Krosk, just makes it a bit easier. So it's reeling you guys in. Joseph.
Okay. So I'm gonna cast Storm Spear. And it's, how big is it? 20-foot radius sphere. Let me get that template out real quick.
I love these templates. Okay.
I'm gonna put it right there on the monsters. They've gone down a level, so wherever they're at, so it's hitting them. And would it's the black line, not the radius, right? So I wouldn't get Snapper here.
Correct. You place it exactly there, yeah.
Okay, that's wrong. Lock it there. And then they take, let me look at the spell real quick. 2d6 bludgeoning damage. And if they fail their constitution, a strength saving throw. So 2d6. 2d6. They'll take that if they fail their strength saving throw. 4.
Okay, one of them failed its strength saving throw.
And then it's difficult terrain for them for what they move. And then as a bonus action, I'm going to cast Lightning Bolt from it. And it's a spell attack, so it's 4d6. So it's a +7. So...
Okay.
I'm going to attack the one that's eating the guys. And I miss.
Okay, yep. Your 10 misses.
And that's it for me.
And by the way, these guys have their tendrils, some of the tendrils up on top of the top of the thing, which is how they manage to lower themselves down. Just wanted to clarify that. So that was Joseph. That's your spell. Is it your turn?
Yeah, and I'll stay here.
Okay. This roper was silly. So it's going to take another point of exhaustion. So its speed is going to be halved. And Constitution saving throw for it. Was it Constitution save?
Constitution, yes.
Rolls a 21.
Okay, doesn't take anything.
And a 2 is going to lower itself below there. But then it's going to enter the... What happens when it enters the blue thing?
It's when it ends its turn. It becomes difficult terrain when it goes into it. And then if it ends its turn into it, then it
That ends its turn there?
Then it has to do a strength saving throw or take 2d6.
Strength saving throw 8. So I guess it's taking 2d6.
Massive.
4. Okay. Adds up. There's a similar thing. Start reeling Balin up. Whoosh. And once again, you're right there in front of its face. Snap.
Okay, question. So, because technically I didn't move myself, does steady aim still come into play?
I think so. I think
Okay,
forced movement doesn't really count for anything, like not for attack of opportunities or anything. So yeah, steady
okay,
aim, absolutely.
okay. We'll do that.
Oh,
Excellent.
Snapper is so much happier now that he can see. Wow. Let's do
There we
this.
go.
First of all, 16 from the sneak. 15 lightning. And another 10 lightning. Wow.
That was sexy.
Is that seriously hurting? It is hurting. It's been bad. Nice shot. Well, I'd say do stay where you are, but you don't really have a choice. Krosk! This thing's about to take a big bite out of your face. What do you do?
I think I'll say no to that. And I'm going to cast for the first time ever Freedom of Movement. Which is not a concentration, which is pretty amazing. And I can spend 5 feet of my movement to automatically escape from non-magical restraints, which is magic, and grapples.
Okay. So you break the grapple?
Yep.
Okay. So Krosk gets... Yep.
Yep. And before doing that, I'm gonna take a bite at the tentacle with my hungry jaws.
Nice.
So
Ooh.
All right.
4 damage and some extra temporary hit points.
Nice. Okay, so as you okay, so you automatically escape from it. You immediately start plummeting to the water.
Okay.
You're not restrained.
Yep.
And slam into the water, taking 5 points of damage.
That's fine.
Are you aiming for the water or aiming for the boat?
I guess for the water. Cross feels comfortable there, so.
Oh, that's true. So I'm just going to have you splash down and floating down there. You're right, you're perfectly comfortable in the water. So that was your freedom of movement. Can't get grappled, bow down.
Yep, and with my additional movement, I'll try to get like 10 feet below the water level, just to avoid any other shenanigans of these guys.
Okay. So in your red circle there, I'll put -10. Oops. There we go, -10 feet underwater. Okay, this guy dashes over here.
I think you skipped me at Malcolm.
Oh, sorry. I have a bad habit of doing that. Syed.
Syed is, even though he's not the strongest, he's gonna try to get out.
Okay, so make
He should have disadvantage because he has an exhaustion level.
I'll tell you what, since he does have exhaustion, it's actually a strength check to get out of it.
Okay.
To balance it out, I'll let you make a strength check at advantage.
Okay.
Not a saving throw, just a straight strength check. You could use athletics if you have it.
No.
A strength check.
Alright, nope, that's it.
Game.
Okay. So the bigger the roper things or whatever they are. You said they're 50 feet up in the air.
Not anymore. Now they're all 30 feet up in the air because they had a dodge Syed's spell. So these guys are 30 feet up in the air.
Okay.
Sorry, 20 feet. No. Yeah, 20 feet up in the air. 20 feet.
Lord. You guys there? Sorry.
Yep.
All right. Sorry, it's reloading the map here real quick. Okay, so I was looking at casting Bane. All right, now everything's coming back into view, and It looks like those guys would mostly be out of my... Yeah, I'm not gonna... Well, actually I would. I'd be able to catch these... that one's out. Alright, I'm not gonna do that. Alright, this... why is that not clicking? I'm gonna go after this guy here, and I'm gonna throw Azure Edge.
Okay.
Let's do that real quick here.
Whoosh, that absolutely hits.
Right.
It's not a fiend or undead, so just normal damage.
Okay.
Whoosh. Comes into it, and as it returns to your hand.
All right. I'm gonna throw it again.
Okay. Misses.
Okay. All right. That's my turn.
Alan.
Okay. Question: can I tell if how difficult it would be to shoot the tendrils that has me locked down?
You want to take a chop at one of the tendrils?
Yeah. Is it? Can I tell? Like, is it? Like, I had three shots at the main body. It was rocky, and so I'm just wondering: is it? Do they seem like they're more?
About the same.
They're about the same.
Tendrils are equally rocky. If you like, you can take a shot and take a hit at one of the tendrils.
I'm gonna take a shot at the first one here, and I'm gonna use again some zero movement. I guess I'll use my steady aim on the first one, see if it does anything.
That's an advantage.
Oh yeah, advantage. Yeah. That does not help.
Miss.
All right. You know what? I'll do the same thing with my last shot then.
That one, that's it. Iron piercing covered. That's your 3 shots. You're gonna move? No, sorry, too soon.
Yeah, I'll just stay right there.
So now the roper. It doesn't have cross anymore. Shuffle over here and shoot a tendrils at Joseph. One. This second one hits. So Joseph. Oof.
I have shield. Can I push that up?
It's a 22.
Oh, that's not high enough.
Okay. So grappled. Then it's going to reel you in, which is the quite thing. And once again, it reels you right up to its face. And you go, right in the face. And I'm just going to pause there, quickly say goodnight to my kids, and I'll be right back. I'll just start this again.
All right.
All right.
Alright. Roper's got Joseph. This thing starts slithering towards the side of the cave. As does... that one. Starts slithering away. This Roper here. It's got Cross and Side right there. Cross and Side, both of you roll a d20.
It's got Snapper.
Oh, sorry.
Snapper.
Every time. Snapper and Side roll a d20. Higher the better. Snapper. It looks at you and opens its mouth and tries to take a bite out of you and rolls 17.
That matches.
And does 23 points of damage to you.
Ooh, I'm gonna have that.
Sure, uncanny dodge, yep. Joseph.
So I'm sorry. What was the damage again?
23.
Okay.
Rounded down would be 11.
Okay. Thank you.
Joseph. Right, that's grip.
What I'm going to ask is, did that last Roper stay within my storm, so he takes the strength, or was he still out of it?
Ooh, both of these guys are still in the storm.
So he didn't just strength saving throw.
So we'll do that guy first. Strength saving throw. He rolls at 12.
7. Okay. And then I'm going to cast Misty Step again. And I'm going to go back into the boat.
Alright.
Well, I guess right there, that's my bonus action. Actually, no, I'm going to go down next to Kane. I'm going to go down here next to Kane. As a Kane's another target. Sorry, Kane. And then I'm going to... I already used my bonus action, so I can't lightning. So I'll just Ray of Frost on this Roper here.
Bounces off its stony hide. No damage done.
Yeah, and that's it.
This Roper is Balin right in its grip. Big bite. Rolls a 19. So 22 points of piercing damage. Balin starts chewing on you. Delicious. Okay. Snapper.
All right. I'll do our little Iron Man thing again with the steady aim going.
Yeah, absolutely. Not moving anywhere. 16. You're panicking. It's throwing you around too much in his tendrils and it just shoots off harmlessly.
Okay. That's all I got.
You're under the water. What do you got?
So I think I'm going to move into the boat. So I guess 10 feet up and maybe just 5 get over here. Then I would like to cross the line to open his mouth and just throw a nasty sleet of green acid into these vultures. Just trying to. That's the one that Snapper hit before, right?
No. I hit the one that's coming.
Oh, that one. Yeah. Then I will hit the one that is a little bit more damage, and I'm gonna throw a male acid arrow at a second level.
Unfortunately, 19 doesn't hit.
Okay, that's fine. He still takes half damage. So,
Damage. Got it.
yeah. And
Pretty rough.
that is my turn, I guess. I'll you know what? I'll move over here and try to be tempting to this guy since I can get out of there pretty easily.
Okay. Syed.
All right.
So, Snapper get chomped on. What you got?
Syed will do a shocking grasp on this guy.
Okay.
23.
23 does it.
Nice. Ugh. Bad damage though.
I lizard this reaction, so feel free to disengage. Sorry. Okay. This thing continues to slither away. Okay. Kane.
Okay, I'm going to cast.
You two, lie down, be quiet.
I forgot what it's called. Compelled Duel on this roper. Why is this not clicking? This roper here.
Uh-huh.
So let me just do that real quick.
Held you. No, let's make a wisdom saving throw. Wise. Yeah, wise. 15.
And I think it's 14. Yeah, it's 14. All right. All right. All right. So with my bonus action, I will attack with my bow. And so I will.
That misses. Bounces off its stony hide.
Try again.
Boosh. Once again, bounces off its stony hide.
These are
Okay.
tough.
That's my turn.
Valen.
Okay, well, I'm gonna use my steady aim again on my first attack.
That hits, but it might be an natural 20, so roll again, because why not?
Sure.
Yes, that hits.
Alright, and I get sneak attack because it was an advantage, which is not a huge amount, but I'll take the 12.
Uh-huh.
And I'll try on my second attack on him.
Yep,
Without,
that hits.
without sneak attack this time, though. Alright, so 19.
Yep, so another 7 right on top of that.
Yep.
From your second shot.
Oh.
Yep, okay, got it.
And that's all I got. Just hanging there.
This roper, let's have a look. It's not especially smart. It's going to shoot 4 tendrils at Cross, and they just slide off. So it looks thoroughly confused. These things slither away. This one slithers away. This one slithers away. This roper. Since it took a good chunk out of Snapper last time, it's going to go for Snapper again and try and bite down. Chomp rolls a 24 for 19 points of damage. So we're going to uncanny dodge that to 9.
Yep.
Okay. Joseph.
Did that roper leave my storm?
Nope. So that should have been making a
Right.
strength saving throw.
Strength.
Strength saving throw. 20.
All right, he passes that. Is it half damage? I don't think it's half damage. Hold on, let me make sure.
Okay.
26 strength saving though. Or take. Do you say experience difficult? No, it doesn't say about anything half damage. Yeah, so no damage. Okay.
Okay.
Then I'm going to move down to here. And God, I gotta get close to that thing right there. I'm gonna go right to there, so I can shoot a lightning. Actually, so I can shoot a lightning bolt up at it without hitting Saeed or Snapper.
Yep, because it's a large creature, you can get the right angle.
Yeah.
Bumped away.
Or if I could I shoot above them and hit it? Is it above them still, or is it not? Or is it just basically right on their same?
Well, put it this way, it's chewing on Snapper.
Okay, so I have to get that angle then. Okay. So I want to make sure. The right one. Right there, I think it is.
So what was it, 1?
Okay. And so lightning bolt damage is. Let me see.
86.
Yeah. There it is.
Powers of 27. So the creature goes down, and immediately Syed and Snapper fall to the ground, taking most of the hit. 8 points of damage as you thump on the ground. No longer frightened.
And then I'm going to use my bonus action to lightning bolt From the storm cloud, this one here.
Okay. Does hit.
Okay, and then the damage is 4d6.
Okay. Got it.
And that's it.
Nice, good turn. Let's needs to make a strength saving throw. I'm just gonna slither 2 feet this way, creating Balin with it. I'm just gonna try and bite Balin. Chomp! Rolls a natural 20, so that would be. It's ominous when the DM says math brain not working. Here. 37 points of damage with a natural 20. That takes you down, Balin.
Yes, I am down. We gotta pipe her down.
Man, everything likes to eat you, Balin. Like everything has been eating you. It's crazy.
I'd like to take the hit so you guys don't have to,
So you see Balin goes limp and that rope continues to chomp on Balin. It's not looking good for Balin. Snapper.
All right. I'm going to stay in the water and stay where I'm at so I can use my steady aim and give him a little love lightning.
This guy here?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Misses.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm stuck where I'm at.
Krosk. You guys are both treading water, by the way. Snapper and Sayed, you're in the water.
Yep.
Speaking of Krosk, who often get confused for someone else, Krosk, it's your turn.
Yes. So I'm going to throw Healing Word to Balin.
Okay.
Thank you.
It's gonna be at first level. It's still pretty good. 9.
Yeah. Yeah,
hit
that's
points.
good. It's better than dead. Oh, oops, I did.
Yeah. And that was my bonus action.
Hey,
With my
be
action,
quiet!
I'm going to throw a Produce Flame into this guy just to keep it
Okay.
taunted and looking at me instead of someone else because I'm slippery. So
That hits.
Ooh,
Damn,
15
oh, nice roll. So 7 and 8 on the dice, excellent.
Yeah.
That's your turn, Krosk.
Yes, that is my turn.
And you're still a little quiet there, Krosk. We might want to adjust something. We can hear you, it's clear, it's just quiet.
Got it.
Sayed.
To get back on the boat, will it cost me my action, or is that just my movement?
That will be an athletics check. DC 10 to get up on there.
Okay, but will it cost my action?
No.
Okay. Well, I'm never gonna get on this boat.
Oh. I was going to say you swim over there, flounder to get up on the boat, but it's actually quite difficult to get up onto a boat where there's not have any ballast in it, and you just flop back down there, treading water.
As I fall back down, though, I will send my bubbles to Balin. Really bad roll.
So you take 12 damage and he gets 24 back, right?
Yep.
Oh, thank you. Sabers.
Yeah, these guys are going to slither away. Attack. One thing they could do. Kane.
Okay. I am actually going to cast Hunter's Mark on that guy. Okay. And then I'm going to throw my battle axe.
Okay. I think you're using your Azure Edge one-handed there, as opposed to the ranged attack.
Oh. Do you want me to re-roll that then?
That's fine. So notice there's a 0 edge there thrown. Yep, so it misses regardless.
Okay.
But that is all 3 uses of your 0 edge, right? You can do it 3
Yep.
times.
Yep.
So just watch that.
That was
That's fine.
awesome.
But that misses regardless.
All right.
That's your awkward expenditures on a 0 edge. Yep.
Right. Yep. So I will take my next attack with the bow. And that misses. Okay. That's it.
Alan.
All right.
Stopped up. It's almost swallowed, but then your allies came in. Doing pretty good.
Well, I'm a little chewed up, but I'm going to keep on fighting here. I'm going to use my steady aim again for the first attack.
Hits.
So 17 there, and then second attack.
Wow, hold on a sec.
Oh.
First attack takes him down.
Oof.
Ugh. You fall 20 feet to the ground, taking 6 points of damage. And there's a rock right underneath the river there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So,
6.
give me an acrobatics check to see if you can do a cool move in that one. It'll be DC 15. Oh, perfect.
Oh.
You do a somersault, land on this rock, just in a little bit of water. What do you do?
Do I? So I still take the 6 damage though.
Yep, you still take the 6 damage.
Okay.
Another attack.
Oh, gotcha. Well, I'm going to move into the boat if I can.
Yep. Athletics check. DC
Oh.
10.
Well, if it looks that challenging, then I won't. If that's all right.
Okay.
I'm just going to take a shot at this guy then with my last shot. Yeah. Let's do that.
Hits.
Okay.
8 piercing. Got it. Okay, is that your turn?
Yes, that's it. Yep.
One roper remaining. Joseph.
You're on mute, Joseph.
Thank you. Sorry about that. Yes, lightning bolt, bonus action from the storm cloud onto the last roper.
Okay.
26. And it's 46. Another 9.
Okay.
Then we don't want it to get away. Let's see here. How far is that going to go? That's too far away. I have to move. I'm going to get away from this thing I'm next to.
Robux. Lie down, be quiet.
I don't know if it's going to attack me or not.
Oh, sorry, say that again.
I'm going to move away from that piercer I was next to. And is it going to attack me?
Nope.
All right. I'm going to get closer to the roper, and I'm going to Ray of Frost on it.
Okay.
I always lose it. There it is. Miss.
That misses.
And that's it for me.
Okay, this roper here I think is dead. Yep, snapper.
Alrighty. Yep, I'll stay treading water so I can have my steady aim. And boom.
That hits.
Excellent. Then we'll do a little this.
Okay, so that's 19, 21. Ouch. Okay. Prosk.
First of all, can you hear me now? A little
Yep.
bit better.
That's much better. Perfect. Yep.
So what I'm going to do, two things are dead. So I'm going to jump into the water.
Okay.
How,
Yeah,
how,
same speed, right? So you're good.
yeah, and also the freedom of movement. How far away? Like-
Let's say it's 20 feet up. Let's say 30 feet away.
Okay, so I'm going to move over here, just to be able to throw produce flame as it gets away. Oh, nice, nice.
Ah. And
All
are you guys
right.
going to attack the piercers, or are you just going to let them slither away?
Joseph's going to start trying to shoot frost at them, and he's going to say to them, "These things probably become bigger ones of those.
That'll be
Like
somebody
they're,
else's
they're the
problem.
babies." And I'm going to start shooting razor frost at him just to kill him because I don't want him to be alive.
Okay, it's easy enough to do. They had one trick, and it was to fall from above and try and hit you. They failed to do that. And it's interesting, if they hit, they would have done like a bunch of damage. None of them hit. Yeah, so what do you guys want to do now?
Get back in the boat.
Try to get back on the boat.
I'm gonna
Maybe keep an eye on the ceiling.
jump into the water and just push everybody that's over there, like right up the butt, and try to help them.
I'm going to call the ferryman over to the shore, and I'm not going to get in the water for Kane and I and be like, "Stop, Kane," and be like, "No, we're not going to swimming. Bring the boat over here, ferryman."
He brings it over.
I concur. Swimming in chainmail is not a good idea.
No, give me just one quick sec.
Those were kind of tough.
Yeah.
They were very tough. I never hit one. I got myself out of harm's way, and that was the only thing I was able to do.
Yeah, that Misty spell step is just great, isn't it?
Yeah, I
It's
was
pretty
just
good.
I read that when I leveled up, and when you cast it before, I was like, oh man, this is awesome. Totally gonna use that.
All right, sorry about that. You're getting back on the boat with the help of Cross pushing you up on the butt. And
Did those things sink underwater, or are they floating?
these things that fell from the ceiling, they sink. And these things, I think, they float. These guys can swim a little bit, but you massacred all of them anyway. They're all dead.
Didn't know if the bodies are floating. I wanted to check them out if they're floating, but never mind.
The big ones are dead.
Hey, Snapper, do you collect strange things? Do you want me to go down and pick an eye for you?
No, we'll let these go.
Okay.
Not worth the effort.
I'm gonna say to Krosk, and I go, you know what? I saw everything chews on Balin. I know you like to eat things and try out new food and stuff. And if you ever want to try humanoid kind of thing, I think Balin's the tasty of us. Just as an FYI.
I'm gonna just take a quick look at Balin and just kind of like nod in approval.
Got any salsa or anything to go with that, or some kind of dip?
The Haleth salt shaker.
Yeah.
I do have red, yellow, and green salt.
I don't appreciate
Bailey,
that.
if you don't want to be eaten, I think you should take measures to avoid that.
So are we able to take a short rest while we're on our way again, or long rest, or what?
Oh yeah, short rest.
Long rest.
Oh, long rest.
Long rest. Yep.
Okay, excellent.
Awesome.
While we're traveling, would we have time to like write in our spell books?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
it's a good point. I pull up my list because I was going to do one too. Thank you for reminding me.
It's a long rest, Balin.
Yeah,
Oh.
long rest.
Dang it! What was it? All right.
It's another day, like 24 hours to Skullport, so you have plenty of time to get a long rest in.
Malcolm, is there a way to change the setting on the Azure Edge so when I do my long rest, it recharges also?
Not
I just
that
manually adjusted it. No? Okay. All right. Just asking.
to manually do that one.
And I'm going to be doing Dark Vision, second level spell from one of our spell books.
That's exactly what I was doing too.
Well, that's good. We both get it because you need it yourself, and then I can cast it onto. Because I was going to surprise if for the last battle if we had a time to do it or money, and give it to Snapper. So right on.
Okay, so you get a long rest in. The ferryman looked very bored while you guys were being attacked. He has no vested interest in you whatsoever. But eventually, you make it your way to Skullport. Just get my notes here. So, so this is probably all of you your first look at the town of Skullport. I'm just going to drag you onto the map. I'm doing the maps a little bit differently. There's no real need to hide anything from you guys. So I assume you just let me know. You should be able to see the entire map inside of everything.
Yep.
That's a lot of people.
Yep.
Who prepared Fireball?
That's several fireballs. Okay, so the ferryman drops you all off here. You get off at the docks, and just as you land there, an armed contingent reach you. There's about 10 of them. They come up to you, and a sergeant says, "Halt! The eye see all, and all who enter Skullport must identify themselves to the Xanathar Guild. Stand and be recognized or taste steel."
So, question: any of the papers that I grabbed from the diplomat's office, do any of those grant passage into the city?
No, they don't. Nope.
Okay.
So who are you? State your business in Skullport.
Cha-ching, cha-ching. Sniper makes
What is this
coin
Birdman
sounds.
talking about? Yeah, I get it. Yeah, what is this cha-ching, cha-ching? That makes no sense to me. Who are you? State your names. I'm growing impatient.
I'm Balin.
Balin, and what is your business here in Skullport?
We're looking to resupply.
Balin resupply noted down in a little book. What about you? He says, pointing at Said. What is your business here?
Hi, I'm Syed. I am looking for a place to sleep.
Do you have any affiliations with the Harpers?
No.
Do you have any affiliation with the Zentarum?
No.
Keep in mind that if you lie about this, it is punishable by death. I ask you again, do you have any alliances?
Nope.
Okay. Balin, what about you? Alliances with the Harpers or the Zentarium Guild?
No, I
Okay.
don't trust those guys.
Technically, Balin, you do have associations with the Zentarium Guild.
That's true.
Wah, wah, wah.
I don't need to know that.
You can make me a deception check.
Oh man, I might be using my luck on this one, so we'll see here. See how convincing I sound myself. I don't sound very good. I'm going to use a luck if I may. Try that again. How's it 10?
Depends. He sees through your deception. He rolls a natural 20.
Oh boy.
I don't like the look of you. Who are you with then? Is it the Zentariums? Or what was the other one I said? Oh, the Harpers. Which one?
Okay, so I'm gonna try to do a half truth and say, well, I did have a short arrangement. It was not by my choice with the Zentarium, but that's gone now. I have nothing left for those people.
Make a persuasion check.
Oof. I might try to do the same thing this time, but hey. Yeah, I'm going to do one more luck. This could go badly here. Persuasion. A little better.
I don't like the look of this one. This is what we're going to do. If you cause any trouble whatsoever in Skullport, your 500 gold piece deposit is forfeit, payable to me. 500 gold pieces, please.
Ooh, is that for all of us?
No, just you. I'll get to the other ones.
Oh, I don't have 500 gold pieces.
Well, off to the stockade with you it is then. Step with me.
Syed will stop him, and he'll hand him the 500 from the party loot.
Okay, and he writes you out a receipt. It reads Captain Jarrett, 500 gold pieces. Deposit. If cause any trouble, then money is forfeit, and hands you the receipt balance.
Thank you, guys. I won't cause any trouble.
Remains to be seen. What about you, Birdman? Any affiliations to the previously stated organizations?
Snapper's just a lowly merchant.
Take that as a no. Snapper merchant. What about you, Holy Knight? You surely are a member of the Harpers. Go on, just admit it.
Nope.
Paladins are members of the Harpers organization.
I'm a landowner here with my fellow colleagues.
And what is your business in Skullport?
We are a tavern owner, something like that.
And you're a tavern owner? So what? What does a tavern owner use in Skullport? We have taverns here.
We're coming to do business. Returning home.
Interesting. And what's your name?
Kane Dawnbringer.
Kind, simple-minded merchant. Got it. What about you? He says, pointing to Joseph. Any affiliations to Harpers or Zentarium?
None of those. No, only to my companions here.
Interesting. Name and what's your business here?
I'm Joseph J. of the Nethlander, and my business here is resupplying and finding a place to rest.
I hesitate to ask this, but he says, turn to Joseph. Is this your pet? Pointing to Cross.
One would say we're his pet.
Or his food.
Does it speak? And it kind of pokes you with the sword, Cross.
Ow. Yes, I do speak.
I don't know what sewer you crawled out of, but state your name and business.
My name is Krosk, and I'm with these guys.
These guys is not your business. What do you intend to accomplish here, Cross?
Eat and sleep.
Eat and sleep. Cross, simple-minded sewer dweller. Okay, be on your way. And I warn you, Bellin, best behavior. One of my guards will see if you misbehave. Keep in mind, this is the territory of the Xanathar Guild. We stand strong here. And I know you have some connections to the Zen, so I would tread very carefully. And with that, he says,
Can I think this guy is the big cheese of the place, or he's just like a middle manager?
very much a middle manager.
Okay, got it.
He's not. You wouldn't expect the big cheese of Skullport to be checking visitors as they come in. But he's got some sway. He's got a bunch of soldiers with him. I didn't drag them on the map, but it's not just him, and they all acquiesce to him. Okay, so you've successfully entered Skullport. This whole area is just a massive fort. As you see, it's surrounded by water, and there is a bridge here. This is called Skull Island, technically, the thing you're on. And there is a walkway here to the town of Skullport itself. Should you guys head over there?
Yep.
Yes. Is this underground? Is it dark down here, or is this above ground?
It's underground. You're not sure how underground it is, but it's pretty deep. There are some lights around the place, though. So all around the fort, there's torches and lanterns and stuff, so you can see. But up above, you can't really see the top of the cavern. But it's obvious that there is a top.
Snapper's nudging Balin to try and get the receipt.
Yeah, but the party's going to want their 500 gold snapper, so don't be running off with this.
He gives you a thumbs up.
Okay. You got it.
Okay. So you guys head into Skullport itself?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna doff my armor into normal clothes.
This just looks like this area that we're in right now is like, it looks like a fortification. So this is not the town itself. It's just a.
Yep. It's
Okay.
definitely a fort, and not sure, but it seems you'd have to go via the fort and do what you did before entering into the town of Skullport itself.
When
As it is very much under the control of the Xanathar Guild.
when we're not around anybody, I'm gonna cast Mage Armor myself just to make sure I'm prepared for anything.
Sure. All eyes turn to Syed.
I'm gonna hold off a little bit.
All right. Okay. I'll show that on map.
No. I'll do it.
Is it just? I used to play a really paranoid wizard years and years ago, and one time I decided to have a little fun and fly across the ravine. I got shot, was reduced to 0 hit points, plummeted to my death.
Oh.
So, be careful. Okay, so you enter the walkway and you enter into the town of Skullport proper. It is winding streets, like you guys are over here. I placed you, and you can see all these are walkways. Some of them go up, some of them go down. There's all sorts of cobbled together houses. It's a real odd collection. Like you have to go through the walkways, duck down, duck under thing. There's people coming and going. You know that it's a town, and I don't know what you expected, but what you see is it's quiet. To say business is humming down here would be a bit of an overstatement. Things are quiet here. There's people, but business just doesn't seem to be flowing as much as you'd like. What would you like to do?
Cross is going to approach Syed and say, "Hey, do you know where the guy you have to keep the money from your bad musician friend should be located?"
Yeah, I need to go to the Flagon Dragon.
Okay, is that like a tavern or something?
Yeah.
Should we go first?
Yeah, start with that.
I'm also getting hungry, so
Good idea.
You're just going to start wandering around looking for it?
yeah. And if we kind of don't find anyone to ask, I'm just going to use cross nose to kind of find where food is being cooked. To kind of find a way.
Also, strangely enough, using your nose, which is expert levels of finding food, you do find the odd establishment, but once again, not a lot of business happening. You search around all over this level trying to find things, and you just can't. So you decided to try and going... Oops, accidentally dragged you. Yeah, it's the wrong level. You search around the middle level first for some reason, and then come back second. Oh, that's not even one of you. So you guys are down here now, which is another level of Skullport. And you start searching around, eventually following Cross's nose. You're into a tavern over here. And this is indeed the tavern you're looking for. This is a flagon and a dragon. So you did come across another pub over here, and this one was kind of quite seedy, not terribly good. The other taverns your nose has led you to have all been not the best. But this one, there's more people in here than the other ones. It seems to be quite popular. Lots of talking, lots of drinking, and a person approaches you and says, "Hi, what's your poison? What can I get you to drink?"
Ground meat, please.
Ground meat. Just the meat?
Yes.
Okay. That'll set you back 1 silver pieces. If you want it cooked, it'll be 5 copper pieces.
Gonna just give a silver and 5 copper pieces.
Okay, he brings you out a nice plate of raw food. If you want to make a forgery check, Snapper, you can do that. Good old guidance. Okay, so put down a forged receipt and just put DC 18 beside it.
Okay.
So remember exactly what you rolled. Okay, so Snapper immediately grabs a table and starts scribbling and doing his thing. What about the rest of you? What can I get for you?
What's your specialty here? Seems like I haven't eaten in a while.
Well, specialty is we do a special brew, we're most notable, called Goat's Head Ale. Acquired taste for sure, but sure you'd like it.
Yeah, I'll take one of those.
Take 5 copper pieces. You're buying for your friends as well?
You bet. They've saved my skin a number of times.
Fantastic. So we'll just set it at 2 silver pieces in.
All right.
For a round of 6.
Fine.
And as far as food got, we have plates of knucklehead trout that we fished up from the river.
That sounds delicious. I'll take one of those.
Okay. You buying for your friends too?
Absolutely.
2 silver pieces.
2 silver pieces.
On a plate, it's a grilled fish, kind of stuffed with vegetables. And are any of you guys from the south?
Not really. I'm from the south, from Mexico, but I guess that's not the question.
Not you personally. This is to the characters, but thanks for sharing. What about you guys? Did you guys come from the north of Waterdeep?
Oh, I come from Waterdeep, but nothing.
Oh, that north, yeah. Yep, we are from.
Oh, further north, this knucklehead trout is called knucklehead trout. Maybe you're familiar with it.
Am I?
Look at the map real quick to see where my character is. I know where he's from, but it's like I have to look at the map real quick to see, is that south of Waterdeep?
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Give me a second, hold on. It's loading.
Yeah, well,
because geographically I don't know the areas.
This was a long walk to a joke that didn't work. We had to type it out to explain it. Trout.
Some of us got it.
Oh, good. Not worthy of a laugh.
Oh,
You silly English kniggets.
Yeah, I'll remember that you guys A, didn't laugh at my joke, or B, didn't get it when it comes time to announce things. DM never forgets.
Snapper got it.
their business.
I'm gonna ask the barkeep real quick and just say, we're new to Skullport. We came in by a ferry in. What's the best way to get back out to the surface from here? Do you know? Is there a boat we can charter, or how do we get back up to Waterdeep?
Well, that is interesting. There's actually a person here who runs. Let me just find the thing. There is. If you visit the Poison Quill, there's a person there called Tessa, and she runs quite a unique service. Wait a minute. Yeah, and if you visit her, she will actually teleport you to the service for a mere 5 gold pieces.
What?
Nice.
Sounds like a bargain. Maybe too good to be true.
So Tessa, Poison Quill Tessa, you said?
I'll put it in the chat. Oops. Poison Quill. Her name is. Yeah, so just for 5 gold pieces, she runs this unique service to teleport you to the surface.
Oh, thank you very much. And I'm gonna ask her also. Do you serve anything else here besides the ale, or do you have any like wine?
Just ale, unfortunately.
Okay.
And
All right, thank you very much. And I'll go back.
Just between friends here, we could actually import a lot more on this. The city could be doing a whole lot better, but the Xanathar Guild keeps its thumb on us, taking cuts where they can, and Skullport is dying. They're squeezing us too hard, and we're starting to bleed now. So just a word to the wise, and also a word to the wise. Don't get into trouble here. They tend to be vindictive.
I've noticed. So is it? So are you planning to get out of here, or what are you gonna do if they're gonna keep on?
Well, this is where I've set my marks down. I've invested in this, in the flagon and the dragon, and maybe things will turn around one day. I don't see how.
We're also looking for somebody here.
And, who are you looking for?
What's your name?
My name is Kalal Kladani. Pleasure to meet you.
Ah, you are the person that we're looking for, I think.
And why are you looking for me?
I have a delivery, and I will pull out the little baggie and hand it to her.
When you say baggy, it makes sounds like you're handing over drugs.
Are there people in the more people in the tavern?
Yep.
Okay. I will not do it. I have a delivery for you.
Why do you have a delivery from me? Who's it from?
It's from a friend. He plays an instrument. It only has 3 strings on it. Do you know the guy?
Yes, I do know the guy.
Uh,
Step with me. And she takes you into a back room and say the back room's over here. Psych, Sayed. You guys are more than welcome to come as well, if you like. She opens the door for you.
Okay, well.
So, 3 strings.
Yeah. Here you go. I will give her the bag.
And she opens it up and says, never put it beyond old 3 strings to pay his debt. If you see him again, be sure to thank him from Kalal. He's a good person.
Oh, of course. He's a family friend of mine.
So what do you know about 3 strings?
Well, he grew up with my son. He doesn't seem. He plays really well, but only sometimes.
And I think you would know this anyway, Syed.
Hmm.
But Kalal says, you know, he's actually a Harper agent, did you not? And you do know that. You know
I've
well enough.
I've had my suspicions.
As well. I mean, he has an excellent disguise, plays badly in the Yawning Portal. But if he's pressed, he can play quite brilliantly.
Yes.
It's all an act to gather information. But I'm sure you've heard three strings play beautifully. And your memory goes back to Syed, to the moment not after your daughter died. And someone sang a song, and three strings played along, ad-libbed quite brilliantly. So it all kind of adds up that he plays badly, it's just an act, but he's a really expert musician and perhaps an even better spy because nobody suspects the bard who can't play musical instruments very well. Comes across as an idiot, but hey, what a great disguise.
Yeah,
Now,
he's.
so pass on my regards to him, and one of your friends mentioned how we could get under the thumb of the Zentarium. A friend of mine might be worth your interest to go speak to them.
Oh,
If you're interested in helping liberate Skullport, then maybe you can talk to him. Is there something you're interested in, Syed?
I am. Everyone else is here, right?
I am for sure. Those guys were jerks.
Is it maybe Snapper who's still scribbling away?
Yeah, I'm in the other room.
No, we're always. We're always for a nice little adventure. We've had some run-ins with the Xanathars.
Yes. And I need to ask, do you have any affiliations that run contrary to the goals of the Harpers?
Nope, not that I know of.
What about your comrades?
A couple of them are pretty close to the Emerald Enclave, but that's about it.
The Emerald Enclave is fine. So the Harpers, I mean, the immediate goals is to take down the Xanathar Guild here. They grow too powerful and they've taken down the city, so we need to take them down a peg or two. I mean, one of the core beliefs of the Harpers is too much power leads to corruption, and no one should be powerless. And far too many people in the city are powerless, and far too much corruption in the city.
Oh, I agree. Absolutely.
Okay, and what about you? You've introduced yourself. So what about you, Kane? Is this you up for taking the Xanathar Guild down a peg or two?
Absolutely. We love adventure.
Ballon?
I'm in.
Joseph?
If it's in the best interest of the Harpers, I'm all for it.
And what about you, Krosk?
As long as everybody else is on board, I trust these guys.
Great. And with that, she takes a piece of fish she had out the back, completely raw, and throws it to Krosk. Krosk, you can dexterity check. It bounces off your nose a little bit, but if you'd like, you can grab it in your mouth and eat it. Not the most
Yeah, of
difficult
course.
catch.
I mean, it's kind of like when someone throws you like a can of beer or something.
Beer me.
Might be a little bit shaky, but you still take it.
Okay. So the person I need you to meet, and this is very important. I will not be going with them, but if it says Kalal the Calm sent you, He will knows that you're a friend of mine and an ally. Say Kalal the Calm sent you.
Okay.
And you can find him upper level at Delagar's Fortress. Now, Delagar's Fortress is interesting. You can't miss it. But the interesting thing, it'll pierce through right into the very upper level of Skullport. And she gives you directions to meet him. He's a dragonborn. He's a little gruff, but his heart in the right place. And he's got some fairly high ideals for what Skullport can be. So keep that in mind when you're talking from him. But he is a good sword.
What was his name again?
Dalithor.
I thought it was a fortress.
Oh, that's the name of the
yeah,
fortress.
so, the fortress. I'll put it into chat for you. His name is Falrax. That's the Dragonborn, and you're meeting him at Delagar's Fortress, which he explained was a big fortress that kind of pierces 2 levels of this underground city. So unless there's any other questions, I suggest you talk to Halal.
All right. Sounds good. It was nice meeting you.
Yes, and come back here anytime. And I tell you what, next time the Goat Head's Ale is on me.
Thank you, I appreciate it. And if you're ever up there, up in Waterdeep, we also own a bar, and you'll drink for free.
Oh, what's the name of your bar?
What was the name? That's the one.
Okay, fantastic. And so with that, you say your goodbyes. Krosk finishes his forgery. I assume you keep, not Krosk, sorry, Snapper finishes his forgery, and you exchange information. And just need a quick couple of minutes again. I'll be right back.
Sure.
Saeed or Art, are you still here?
Yep.
I had a question for you. You said you had the sending spell?
Yes.
So I was thinking maybe we should send. Do we need to send a message back to Troll Skull to see how they're doing to make sure, that the bar's not burning down without any kind of management?
Yeah. We could. I'll send one at the end of the night just in case, because it is a 3rd level, and 3rd levels are
Yeah.
my most precious spells.
No, it's the same with here. I hear you. It's just kind of a thought. I didn't know if it was a ritual or what it was exactly.
No, it's a spell.
Something to help our rolls out so we don't get up there and have a bad roll and owe more money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I am back. So you guys want to head to Delagor's Fortress?
Yeah, let's go.
We don't have any clues about where the dagger is, though, right?
I want to say I heard something about they had some visitors. Some people came to visit through level 3, and they suspected they were them. I think I heard something like that.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I don't know if it was a race of, if it was goblins or something. I don't remember if it was anything they told us that or not. Does anyone else remember?
I can remember for you if you like.
Sure.
Mm. Mm. So she told you that the thieves who stole are Durgar of Clan Iron Eye. And he thinks they might be hiding in Skullport. That's the clue that you've got.
I will ask her if she knows where we could find them.
So you're looking for the Durgar?
Yeah.
We see Durgar every so often. There was some here a few days ago. They didn't come to my tavern, but they did come to the Black Tankard Tavern. And they drank a lot of ale, got quite drunk. And then they head um, down deeper into the Undermountain. So go down is your best way to find them. But they did pass through here and got drunk and headed deeper into the Undermountain.
Okay. So probably won't find them in Skullport then.
Yeah, the Clan Iron Eye is who you're looking for. So
Right. So
Also, before we go, Cross is going to ask Kalal if she knows a place where he can get a diamond.
diamond, interesting.
Yes,
What you need that for?
for Revivify.
Yeah.
So Cross is going to start describing like how big of it, how big it should be, and how many metal circles it should be worth.
Middle circles. Yep. It says. Let's find my page here. It says I can't guarantee it, but you could try the poison quill, which I mentioned before. This should be your best bet. The one who does a teleport.
Okay,
Yeah, try there. Best bet. I can't promise she has it, but she might have it.
awesome. I appreciate it.
Okay. Any other questions before you head to the fortress?
I'm gonna ask the party if we want to go there first. And well, Krosk is asking that. He's staring heavily at Balin.
Oh man.
I told you he's the tastiest.
Yeah, but I mean, if we get the diamond, if I don't get him with one of my magic sweet words, we can still get him back and not be our dinner. Which I think Balin is something he wants.
I appreciate that, Cross. Yeah, I'd rather support our group than be a one-time meal.
I agree. You're much better support than food.
Thank you.
So should we stop there and quickly get that?
Yeah, let's. I think we were gonna head that. Well, I guess we weren't gonna head that way, but yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. We're here, and I could probably use it. It'll be between Kane and I who uses that first, I'm sure, or needs it first.
I mean, I've seen everybody fall down, so it's kind of like a luck affair.
You ask Kalal where the poison quill is, and she locates it for you. It's right up here on the level above. So so you walk in, and the proprietor. So you turn around, and the person described to Tess. She's an elderly woman. She's dressed in robes. She's quite attractive for her age. You guess she's in her 50s. She keeps herself quite clean and tidy and well kept. And she says, "Oh, welcome to the Poison Quill. Now, what can I help you with this day?"
Hi, I'm looking for a diamond.
Oh, what sort of diamond are you looking for, friend?
Cross is going to just describe how big and the color and yeah, basically 300 day circles worth.
She says, roll me a percentage dice there, Mr. Cross, and lower the better.
No,
Sorry, friend. Don't have anything like that here. If you come back in a few days, I might be able to source one for you.
okay.
What kind of items are in this shop?
Well, I do have few scrolls that I could sell. Also run a unique service. I can transfer you right up to the surface of Waterdeep for a mere 5 gold pieces.
And do you take us back here when we're done at Waterdeep? But would we
It's a
have to
one-way
walk
trip,
there?
my friend. One-way
Oh,
trip.
okay.
Is there any other places that can teleport us to, or is there any faster ways to get here?
A lot of people want to leave Skullport in a hurry. That's the unique service I provide. So, yep, that's what I do. Faster ways to get to Skullport, that's what you're asking for?
Yes, that's what I was asking for.
Well, she goes and looks around, and then she shutters the windows. It says, the Xanathar Guild has got this place pretty tight. It used to be a bustling port. It's been more or less shut down. The way people used to give through the Skullport is on the outside of Waterdeep, below one of the cliffs, there's a little cave entrance. It's narrow to start with, but after that, big sailing ships would pass through and would go back and forth under the dead of night, and the fog outside of Waterdeep helped as well. That's how most people got here, in and out on boats. But the boats are coming less and less. Once again, Xanathar has this place locked down too tight.
Thank you very much. Could we travel through boat to get out that way? Still, is there? How could we get a boat? Until we can come in.
Well, you can get a boat, but you're gonna have to deal with the Xanathar Guild at the same time. They won't let you go unless you have a significant amount of money or an excellent reason or some type of proof that Xanathar himself has sent you.
Thank you.
And getting a boat can be quite expensive as well. A rowboat is fine, but you're not going to row out of here in a rowboat. Looking at a sailing ship, which costs thousands of gold pieces. If you have the coin, though, that is an option.
Thank you.
Is there anything else I can do for you?
I think no at the moment. Oh, wait. Do you have incense?
Yes, she has incense.
I'm gonna buy the equivalent of 50 gold pieces worth of incense.
Done.
Awesome.
Anything else?
Snapper would like to find out if there's an armor around.
Yep, there is an armorer in Waterdeep.
But not down here.
Well, everybody's done here, then yes, you can make your way to the armory.
What spell scrolls does she have before we leave?
You knew that was coming. Not a wide selection,
Mm-hmm.
but she does have Identify, Glyph of Warding, Mind Blank, and Sending. Mind Blank's actually spelled.
Yeah, I'm looking them up to see what they do.
Isn't that like the 7th level spell?
8.
Oh, that's very high.
What's the spell? What's that scroll? What is it?
Mind Blank.
That's a very nice spell.
It's going to cost you a pretty penny. And just in case you want to know what it does, this is what Mind Blank does. Your mind cannot.
Oh, nice.
Well, it's for 24 hours, the duration.
Yep. Just want to imagine high-level wizards just much like low-level wizards mindlessly cast mage armor. High-level wizards will cast Mind Blank.
Nice.
How much is she asking for that, just out of curiosity?
8,000 gold pieces.
Ooh.
I look at Balin, I go, only you take our party loot. Lose us anyways. No, that's great.
I do have some that money. I just didn't have. Actually, I could probably scratch together 500. So if we don't get the 500 back, I'm happy to.
No, that's party loot, man. That's party loot, dude. So it's just. I was just saying, it's just kind of funny. Anyways,
How much is a glyph of warding?
Glyph of Warning will set you back 400 gold pieces.
That is an abjuration spell I should already have.
It's true. It's abjuration.
It's just the components are just so expensive.
That's kind of one of those permanent spells, right?
Mm-hmm.
Might be useful in Troll Skull Mana. Never know.
I will ask the party for a small loan from the party loot.
Yeah, take it.
Yep.
Okay. I will purchase the spell scroll.
A Glyph of Warding to your spellbook. You still need to spend it. That's just to purchase the spell.
Yes, I know.
Yeah. Do the rest of it, but yes.
At least it's half price for me.
Yeah, that's true. For the abjuration one. Cool. And yeah, I mean wizards, right? They're broke until they get the wish spell, at which point they can summon in a 25,000 gold pieces.
Yeah.
Up until that point, they're broke. Any other spells interesting to you? Of interest to you, I should say. There was Identify and there's a Remove Curse scroll as well.
I already have remove curse, so.
Okay. That's it then. And Sending. I don't know if you have Sending.
I do also have sending.
well, actually, how much is sending? Well, actually, I can get that from you, maybe.
Yeah.
All you're effectively doing is paying them for you to copy from their spell. So you can absolutely copy it from Saeed's spell book if you want, if you were so kind.
Yeah, that's no problem.
Yeah, so you can exchange spells and copy it out. You still need all the, the paper and the ink. But it's easy enough to do. Okay, any other business with Tasselgrim?
Nope.
Where to next?
Sniper wanted to go to the armor.
Yes, please.
Ah, yes. The armorer. Okay. Armor. Okay. So the armorer is over here. Where you are. And this, you see a big sign out the top of it, and it says Thalagar's Fort Boundary. And you look around, and it actually goes it's a 4-story complex. It goes down to the level you were before. You're kind of in the middle one. It goes down another level, and then it goes up into the very upper level of Skullport as well. So this is a massive place. But you follow this walkway down, go in, and it's just loud. It's all hell in here. And you see it's the inside is primarily Duragar, and they're hammering away at stuff mindlessly. And there's a huge Duragar, almost as tall as you guys. And he's shouting at people. Boundary is going. What would you like to do?
I like to go and see if I can barter for some splint mail.
Okay. The split mail. Just a second. Do you know how much split mail is normally? Off the top of your head?
200.
200.
It's 200.
200. So the rather large Duragar who is shouting to all the people, split mail you want, is it? That'll be 500 gold pieces and not a copper less.
180, and I'll show him my studded leather armor.
Which is worth...
45.
Are you kidding me? I don't want your piece of cracked leather. We're in armor, we deal in metal. Your goods are useless to me. 500 gold pieces.
Take a quick look at my inventory here. All right, that's fine. That's ridiculous. That's outrageous. He'll just pinch his nose and wave him off and walk away.
Okay. Easy enough to do. This is probably maybe relevant to Snapper, but Splint does impose disadvantage on stealth unless you have a cool thing to negate that.
I do. My new armor negates that and bypasses any strength requirement.
Perfect. So you could even get plate if it came to that, I assume.
Yep. I went with
Wow.
Splint because I thought I could afford it.
Yeah. I mean, plate normally costs about 1,500, but, you know, upwards
Yep.
of that in this place.
Yep. How about actually I'm sorry. Maybe do they have like a +1 shield? Would they have anything like that?
Roll a percentage dice for me.
Okie doke.
Low is good.
Let's see. So how do we do a percentage?
You can just do /RD100 would work.
Okay. Oops.
No
That's kind
+1 shields, unfortunately.
Okie doke. I'm good to go then.
Alright.
I'm sure we could find something at once we get back to Waterdeep.
Yep.
If there's any place in the entire Sword Coast you could find stuff like that, Waterdeep would be it. Okay, so you're going to head over to the other place now, the Gotta meet your contact.
Yep.
The fortress, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fortress. Yep. Falarax and Dalagor's fortress. Okay, so the Dalagar's fortress is a little bit to the south of you. I shall ping you over there. And this fortress, as I said, it cuts up and down. It's much like the Foundry, cuts through multiple levels of this. This happens to be the main entrance to it, and there's a big gate. Yep, it's closed. What do you do?
We'll knock.
Let's do it.
Okay, you knock on the door, and a rather lithe drow figure comes out, long white hair, dressed in black, and says, "Yes, can I help
Hello. I'm looking for Felrax.
you?" "Yes.
May I speak to them?
Who are you?"
I am Syed. Who are you?
"I am Drex."
Oh, is this the person? I thought it was supposed to be a dragonborn.
Yeah, Felrax. He said Drax, right?
Oh, he said, oh, Drax. Okay.
Drex.
Sounded similar, yeah.
Falarax is a very busy man, Syed. Why don't you just go up this way?
I could wait for him.
He's not taking visitors. It's best you're on your way.
Say, pop and say, Kyle Kadarni, or that's how I say her name, sent us.
Okay. Really, you guys, you need to be on your way. Good day to you. And she closes the door behind her.
Can I try to discern if there was like a secret message behind that, or if she was just obnoxious with us?
Make an insight check. You suspect. I mean, you've turned up from nowhere. You've knocked on a door to a person you don't know, and you ask to see them. It's like knocking on Windsor Palace and saying, "Can I speak to the Queen, please?" Not gonna happen.
Got it.
You guys kind of get the impression that you're forgetting something.
Hmm. The only thing I can think of is why we came to see him, to help Skullport.
I don't want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, me neither.
That's why I thought saying her name, because she was the one who sent us, maybe, but I don't know what to do.
She did not ask you. Oh? Inspiration up for grabs here. How do you get into this place? I didn't tell you.
With that magical sending to the to that person, are you able to send like a message?
I have an idea. I'll use the Cyrock that I have attuned. Just tell her we're here to help you free Skullport, helping the Harpers. I'm crossed, by the way.
Who are you sending that to?
To the late to the one that opened the door.
And that's using telepathy effectively, isn't it?
Yeah, it's using the Cyrock, the Sidestone.
Yep, I'm just looking up. As per the spell telepathy, and a willing creature with which you are familiar. You send out the telepathic signal?
Yep.
Nothing.
The other thing I remember is that it's 2 stories and it goes through 2 levels. Like maybe there's another entrance.
Snapper will start walking around the outside perimeter,
Okay.
looking for possible climbing spots.
Are there any windows into this place?
Yes, but they are shuttered. What
So,
did Kalal ask you to say?
Oh, Kalal the Calm.
Ding, 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 ding. No inspiration points.
Hmm.
Should be a clue.
Oh, I thought someone said that she sent us.
No, they said the actual name.
Oh,
I said her name. I didn't say Kalal the Calm. Yeah.
okay.
Okay, can we try again then? We'll knock on the door again.
Okay, this time Drax comes back and she's flanked by two rather large ogres. She says, I asked you to leave. Let's not turn this into something.
We just wanted to say one more thing. Kalel the Calm sent us.
Must Kalal send such idiots? Honestly, why don't you just say that to start with? Was she not clear? Are you dense?
To be in our defense, we were having lunch, so we were a little bit distracted.
Fine. Come inside. And she leads you inside, so feel free to go into this area here. And you can see why I reveal this whole area to you. It's just massive, and yeah, there's no real secrets here. Well, there are secrets, but none that will be revealed by the map. And she says, step this way. Have a seat. She leads you into a little waiting area. Valerax will see you shortly. Try not to look like an idiot in front of him, if you'd be so kind. And then she leaves. And before long, let's see. So, she, in the waiting room, eventually someone who you assume is Valerax. Valerax is dressed rather smartly. He is indeed a dragonborn. He has copper-coloured scales. And he's carrying around a staff, and the staff seems to have some type of light cantrip on top of them. So yes, I am Valerax. I believe my friend Kalal sent you. What is your business here?
Well,
What do you want?
she sent us here. If you needed any help with the Xanathar.
Oh, yes, I do need help with the Xanathar.
We're here to offer our services.
Oh, that is good to know. I need to know if you have any previous affiliations with the Lords of Waterdeep or Xantarian or any other of the guilds.
I don't.
And the rest of you?
Just with the Emerald Enclave.
While I do not agree with all of the Emerald Enclave stand for, they're still a respectable organization. I, you might have guessed, represents the Hoppers. We believe that too much power leads to corruption, and that has most definitely happened here in Skullport. The Xanathar Guild has too much power, and we feel also no one should be powerless, and far too many are powerless in the city. Finally, we believe that one can never have too much information. Information is power. Now, some of you stands unaffiliated. If Kalal sent you, then I trust you. So let me ask plainly. Do any of you wish to throw your allegiances behind the Harpers? Ally with us. Take down Xanathar guilds and many other evildoers out there. What about you, Paladin? You look like a noble person. Would you perhaps be interested in joining the Harpers?
Perhaps. Are you looking for more members, more people to join?
Well, you're always looking for members. The powerful are still out there. They still abuse their power.
Mm-hmm. I'll go with the rest of my party. If they're interested.
Well, it's not a blanket thing. It is an individual decision.
Oh, I understand. We're just bound by brotherhood.
Well, what about you? He says, Joseph. Do you stand up for the downtrodden? Do you take the power from the powerful and give it to the weak? Is that who you are?
I'd gladly aid the Harpers.
Oh, well, that is good news. Okay, he gives you a handshake and says, "Well, I'll have one of my agents be in contact with you. I can't necessarily get you signed up, as it were, directly, but we'll keep you in mind, Joseph. Let's just say someone will be in touch. What about you, Birdman?"
Sure, sure. Gives him a wink.
What does that mean? I do not understand his wink. He is talking in riddles. Speak plainly.
Sure, sure.
That's the way he speaks.
Yeah, that's my friend. He can't speak like the rest of it, but that means yes.
Okay, so we have Kane, possibly, Joseph, and Snapper. I believe you said, Bellin, you're a member of the Emerald Enclave?
I am. I haven't yet said that, but I am. But your cause is worthy that I would join with you to clean up Skullport.
I mean, you can ally with us and still maintain your allegiance to Emerald
Yes.
Enclave.
Yep, that's what I meant. I would like to ally with you.
What about you, Lizard Man?
Yep. Same deal.
Alliance.
Alliance. Yeah. Or unless your membership includes like something else.
As I said, we'll be in contact. And so, you, magic user, I assume, judging by your garb.
Yes.
Okay.
It's kind of weird though that I'm joining a little club that my son's friend is in, but sure.
Your son's friend? Who is your son's friend?
He's in Waterdeep. 3 Strings, if you know him.
Oh, I do know 3 Strings. A noble person if there ever was one. Yes, and it's not a little club. Let's make that clear. We're an alliance. Dangerous. Missions will come your way to help the downtrodden. A little club is perhaps a little demeaning, Syed.
Oh. Well, I didn't know he was into such big things then. It's good for him.
Yes, 3 Strings is a valuable ally. Picks up information from the yawning portal. Plays bad music and people ignore him, and that's the perfect cover for a spy. And the Dragonborn is happy with your responses. He leans back into a high-backed chair and says, "So you're interested in returning Skullport to its former glory? That will require the removal of the power of the Xanathar Guild." And he takes a big sigh. "I have no dreams, only a fantasy. As a Harper, I'm sworn to fight tyranny everywhere, no matter how futile such a fight may be. Even here in Skullport, so far from the sun and the light of civilization. So now, I turn to you, my new friends. Will you join me in sedition?"
Yes.
Sure.
Most certainly.
Well, some of you might know. Oh, let's just backtrack a little bit. You're wandering around the streets, and you see a lot of skulls with flames coming out of them. And they're just wandering around, and they're just kind of babbling nonsense like saying, "Oh, I must get to the jelly fort and destroy the obelix of squid," and just absolute nonsense stuff like this, almost like as if some type of senile thing is taken off of them. And you see these skulls, and everybody's just ignoring them, and they kind of babble around, much in a confused, elderly way, like saying, "Oh, where did I leave my purse? Where did I leave? Where did I leave my body?" Just crazy stuff like that, and they're just wandering around. And he says, not that long ago, the Flame Skulls, they ruled Waterdeep. While they were not perfect, it was run more like a dictatorship. Much, much better than what the Xanathar guilds here. They were interested in commerce. They punished the wrongdoing, but a simple man could make his living here. My hope to overthrow Xanathar guilds is to reinstate these flaming skulls, to let them rule over Waterdeep once again. They were also noted for being happy with alliances. We think if we could bring them back from the brink of madness, we could work with them. And we could work with them to maybe take a touch back from their dictatorial ways and let Skullport really flow. We'll have the taverns opening and bustling again. We'll open up the ports. And corruption will be squashed to a bare minimum. The tavern folks and other business owners pay a hefty price just to be here from Xanathar thugs. So I feel if we could free these flame skulls from their madness, perhaps, and I know this is just a dream, maybe a fantasy, perhaps Waterdeep can become the bustling metropolis it once was. What do you think?
I
Do you
am
know how?
doing politics, but do you have any other plan B?
Plan B would be a violent revolution, and quite frankly, we do not have the assets for that.
So
Do you
letting
know how to free?
schools rule is a better plan. That's again, I'm no expert, but that doesn't sound really good.
The flame skulls do not sound really good.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to get people that get insane back to sanity.
Well, I've researched this over many years, and I've contacted allies, and I think finally we have a plan to relieve them of the madness. It is not simple, it will not be easy, but it is at very least doable.
Do tell.
So we feel that we're not sure what caused this madness initially. Maybe it was them getting too greedy. We're not sure. But there's a special tincture, a special type of ointment that we feel, when it's applied to the head of a flame skull and taken down deep into a grotto underneath the city. Now this grotto is almost was a holy place to these flame skulls. So you will need to get this tincture. I have a contact where you can get it from. You would need to take a flame skull deep underneath Skull Island. There's a grotto deep underneath the water. If you place the tincture on the head of these creatures and say the words in ancient Netherese, which was the very first citadel there, and if you say the words in Netherese, "Rise ye spirit, as guardian and counselor, now and forever," in the ancient Netherese tongue, trust me, it'll work. It has to. Now, I suspect none of you speak Netherese, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct.
So, I will give you the spell. It's the spell scroll of tongues. this you can speak the language of the Netherese.
Can
And
you
he says
speak the
flame-
words?
Uh, uh, I can speak the words, yes. Would you like me to speak the words in Netherese?
Do you guys want the skull, or do you want me to mimic him?
We could have both as a backup. Yeah.
Yeah, do both.
Okay, yeah. Speak, please.
So,
Speak, please.
so he says, rise ye spirits as guardian and counselors now and forever in Netherese. I personally, Malcolm Trevina, do not know how to speak Netherese, so
What?
it's probably some site on the internet where people have done everything for Netherese, much like they've done like
Klingon.
Klingon. That's what I was looking for. Klingon, yeah. But yeah, you've got that in your memory, Snapper. It's there. It's locked in. You are the perfect mimic. So, problems. Xanathar will not like you interacting with a flame skull. That is problem number one. If they see you interacting with a flame skull, they'll suspect it. There is no reason for you to be talking to the flame skulls in the Xanathar Guild's opinion. That is problem number one. Problem number two. The flame skulls must be brought to the grotto of the Netherese, which, as I said, is deep under Skull Island. I have a contact there who knows the way to the grotto of the Netherese. That is not so much the problem, but this is literally a flaming skull. If you put the flaming skull underwater, it will go out. Those are two problems I will leave you to try and work out a solution to. As I said, I have a contact there who will show you the way down. I assume none of you can breathe underwater for very long, so that is another problem. So, take the skulls to the grotto of the Netherese, preferably without detection. Place the tincture on the head of a flame skull. Say the words that I taught you, raise ye spirit as guardian and counselor now and forever. I think the madness will fade.
We need to do this to each and every flame skull, or just one?
I'm suspecting it's just one. If we have one, these are very wise flame skulls. They know how to work the politics. I think if we release one, then the one could release the other 12. And the flame skull will rule once again. They're very powerful. I don't think the Xanathar Guild will be able to stand up with them for very long at all. I mean, one is dangerous, but 13, that's a whole different story.
Are they peaceful? As they're insane now, are they peaceful? And we could approach them?
You can approach them. That's another problem. You need to convince an insane creature to come with you. I'm not sure how you do that. Probably the madness most manifest as confused. They're forever searching for things, but never finding them. This is the most common thing. We know they are powerful. We read the ancient texts. They do cast powerful spells. We have not seen them cast powers for many years.
Are they the normal human-sized skull, or what size skull are they?
Human skulls.
All right, so they're human-sized. Do they need to breathe?
No, they don't need to breathe, but as I said, water held their flames, and they need to go deep into the grotto of the Netherese.
We need to find something to put them in so the flames don't go out.
Snapper, do you have does your pouch have like space you could put things into that expands out? I've seen you put a lot in there.
Yeah, but I think it'll catch fire.
Magic, it's a bag of holding, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just an idea. It's a human skull. It might fit in, but yeah, if it's on fire, I'm not too sure how that would work.
I know what would happen, but I'll tell you. I made that mistake last session. What would happen if it was science. What would happen if I looked through the familiar with would I get turned into stone? Answered him. That was a mistake. find out.
I do have a helmet that I could probably reforge into a box if I have enough time.
Well, that is another option, but then the problem is how do you get the flame skull in the box? I mean there are many options here. I'll let you to decide. As I said, you still need to get the tincture that will need to be applied to the flame skulls. That is your first problem.
Where do we get that tincture again?
You get it from my friend Nightshade is her name. And Nightshade, she runs a place called Nightshade's Caress. It's a wretched old shop, and she's a wretched old woman. But she's not pleasant, but she's an asset. Go talk to her. Tell her I sent you. And he writes a little note and then stamps it with a wax seal. Just give this to her. She'll know that you're an ally.
Okay.
Maybe go to Nightshade's Caress. Maybe she has it. Maybe she'll need you to fetch some ingredients for her. But you'll know the tincture that I'm talking about.
Okay, so to summarize, we need to get the tincture. We need to convince the Flaming Skull to come with us. Then drive him underwater and just uh, place him in the pedestal and with the tincture and just say the words that Snapper just learned.
Correct. As I said, there's complications. Xanathar Guild will not want you doing this. So, tread carefully.
So I think I have the solution for it. Just transporting the school and all of us underwater. But I would have to sleep just to get the spell prepared. If we convince the school, we can remember, Said, how you turn into a giant ape? Maybe we can turn him into like a small frog or something.
Yeah. That's what I was
And,
thinking too.
and
I
also,
can.
oh, remember how I made you walk through water? I can make you breathe water too. But again, I would have to sleep.
Well, there is no hurry. Revolutions do not happen overnight. So if you require time to prepare, Xanathar Guild is, I assume, none the wiser of what we are planning. So if you need rest, you can do it. You could go see Kalal and the Flagon and Dragon. She could definitely put you up for the night. But perhaps go talk to Nightshade first. See what she needs.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
the thing is also, could we do it in a few days, or does it have to be done like the next couple of days? Because we could also return too. We can come back from Waterdeep with a better plan or with some other supplies or anything else too.
Of course. I mean, the quicker the revolution happens, the better. But you need time to prepare. A few days won't go amiss.
Yeah, we do have some supplies that we'd like to purchase at Waterdeep. We haven't been up there in a little bit.
Oh, of course. We can travel back up to Waterdeep. There's a teleporter that can travel you up there. I'm not sure how you'd get back down.
Same way we got here. We would just go back through the Undermountain and take the ferry over back.
Have you made enemies about here? That will be problematic for you coming back?
I think we've done pretty well with establishing alliances.
Okay.
We have a goblin market that we're on great terms with. We have a drow up there that is we've helped. We've also have the Legions of Azeroth.
First floor, we wiped everyone out.
Yeah, I
Though.
was just like, we've taken care of our enemies. Well,
Well, wiping it out is great, but when you remove power, you leave a vacuum, and something inevitably retakes control.
Mhm.
So we might have a
In
little
sense,
problem.
This is not like Diablo. If you wipe out a dungeon, you return to the dungeon, life goes on, right? It is not a static place like a video game.
Yeah, level 2 and level 3 we've done well. Level 1 we'd have to probably go deal with a little bit, but that's not for adventurers such as us.
There's something in level 2 that I want to go to. Remember that thing that we found, Haleth? Was that his name, Haleth?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
There was like a map with buttons.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah, like a
Oh,
giant.
yeah.
It's, yeah.
Good point. We-
Where it was when I dragged you across to level 2.
It was towards the bottom, right next to the stairs.
It was like a. Yeah, I can't recall exactly.
Or was it level?
It was level 1. It was level 1 because level 2 is where we ran into stuff when we had him with us.
Oh, that's right. So it is level 1 then.
It's level 1. Oh, the memories.
And there it is. Yeah, it's right at the bottom, right in front of all those dead
Skullport.
hobgoblins, right above it.
Oh.
Okay, let me quickly look that up.
I think it's the one right above it. Is this one I'm pinging here? I think it's that one there.
Okay.
Because that's your pit you drew.
Because I remember
Skullport, port
Skullport was
open
on.
or something like that. That's right. A button you push. It's something about Skullport.
Here. Yes, it was. It's close to there. It was here, the green box. And it shows you an elaborate cross-section of Undermountain, what is clearly Mount Waterdeep at the top, and 23 hollowed-out dungeon levels stacked below it. No description of it, and this is what you saw.
I remember we pushed the button, one of the buttons, and it said something about Skullport, and we purposely had it so it said open, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
Is that what you're looking for?
When you placed the flaming skull, it said this. Okay, access to Skullport disabled.
I think we pushed it again and had it enabled, correct, guys?
I thought so because we were trying to think ahead.
I think we enabled the maybe.
I'm pretty sure we did because we were like, we have to go Skullport. Let's have it enabled so if, when we get somewhere, we might need it. I think
Yeah,
that was a reason.
We don't know where. Like we were thinking there was a portal that we wanted to open. We just don't know where that is, right?
Yeah.
Can we ask him? Have you heard of anything like that on the first floor of the Undermountain?
Frantically doing searches. No. There is no gates to Skullport from level 1 that you found. Nothing that he knows about. level 2. I mean, there are gates there, but they go to much deeper into the dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
Level 2, there was gates to level 4 and level 5 through level 6. Gone off to Skullport. And on the 3rd level, which you kind of doesn't really matter anyway, gates to level 5 and 6. So there are no direct gates, as far as you know,
Mm-hmm.
that will teleport you from level 1 or level 2 directly to Skullport.
Well, that's the question, guys. Do we want to liberate this first, or do we want to go back up to Waterdeep and do more of that first?
I guess, what do we need from Waterdeep?
Well, you have to turn in you have to finish your whole mission, don't you, Krosk?
Yeah, but I mean, they've been cursed for a while now. I think it can wait.
Well, I think though if we do this, we could be unlocking a chain of events that would probably keep us from going to Waterdeep.
Yeah. That's what I'm worried about as well.
That's my point. Is this seems rather large, and it's going to be time consuming if we want to do anything else first. I mean, if we need to we could free this town, and it doesn't be freed from tyranny, as with the creeds of the Harpers, but time and place.
And we could also check in on the other keys for the. If who was it? Raynar.
Yeah,
He was a guy that got kidnapped.
Yeah, was it him or Volo that we asked to look into the
I
other
paid
key?
Volo money to look into one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think I asked 3 strings for the other one.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we could check in with them to see if they've heard anything as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we should go to Waterdeep first.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay.
But Balin's going to have to get his money back first.
Yeah, let's get a receipt. Or let's return in
The
our
question, real quick, is that the teleportation to get out of here, is that a secret we shouldn't talk about, or is that well known? Because if we're saying we're leaving, we don't want to out the teleportation person.
It's well known.
True. Well, we know we're coming back. I guess we can get the 500
Mm-hmm.
when we come back.
Well, we might need it for supplies.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, if we go get it, then we would have to sneak back in, basically.
We could just have them. You could follow us over. We're leaving through the teleportation.
Yeah, I think that's just administrative stuff.
I say we have a very persuasive paladin. Maybe he could persuade them to allow us to exit through the portal and have a guard follow us, so keep our money.
Mm-hmm.
And Snapper always can lend a hand, maybe, and give you a little guidance.
Sounds like a good idea.
Okay, so let's say you just approach a guard and you show them the receipt and you say, we wish to leave, we want a guard to follow us because we're teleporting out. And Kane, you need to make a persuasion check. And yes, you may guide this if you like. So, persuasion check.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh.
There you go. So a guard absolutely follows you. He's carrying a pouch with him.
Nice.
And you need to pay 5 gold pieces, so a total of 30 gold pieces to
Okay.
ramp up Waterdeep.
I'll take it from the party loot.
Okay.
Can Malcolm, can you describe how that looks? Because I was going to present a forged one to try and get 500 more.
Okay. So
And what I was thinking was while Balin was getting his, if it looked like it was going to be difficult, then I was going to try charm person. But if it looked like it was pretty simple, I was just going to go ahead and try with the forgery.
How much is the forgery for?
500 with a different name
A different
than
name?
than Balance. I thought it might have.
Oh, I see. So you're pretending to be someone other than Bellin.
Right.
Right.
Different
Oh,
party.
got it.
As if I was given one of those as well.
Oh, I see. Okay. So your forgery was DC 18, right?
Uh-huh.
So this guy is going to look at it. I'll give him a +2. Aye. Okay. So you hand it over to him. The looks, his opinion, are more or less perfect copy. And he scratches his head, grabs another bag of gold, and with Kane's rather persuasive persuasion, he follows you. You tap down your 30 gold pieces,
Mm-hmm.
and he hands a bag of gold to Bellin and a bag of gold to Snapper.
Yay.
Okay.
You guys bamf out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, let's do it.
Bamf, 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 bamf. Later on, you check your bags, and there's only 400 gold pieces in there.
Wait, what?
Jerks.
Okay.
Got that.
I'll just put the 400 from party loot in back in.
I'd add 300. I'm keeping 100.
Okay.
Okay, and wow, you remember this place?
Oh,
Finger across your
Wow.
Remember this
Wow.
place?
it looks so
Remember
different.
this place?
We thought the dungeon was big.
Yes. Let me just turn on dynamic lighting for the city. So what do you guys want to do? I assume
Where
you
did
bamf
where
out
did it
here in
take
the
you back
market.
to?
Yep. Where do you want to go?
Oh, we got so many things to do. We got to check on the bar, and you guys had some.
Why don't
Should we check on the bar?
The bar,
Yeah,
the
why don't
yachting
we-
portal. Those
Yeah,
are two
yep.
things
that
we need to
first.
do.
Which one are you going to first?
go back to
Bar.
the bar?
Yeah, let's go to a bar.
Okay, what I'm going to do is lost it. Just a minute. See? There. Yeah, this here represents exactly where you are. This compass rose.
Okay.
Okay.
So you bamfed into the market, head up through the wards, and you head your way back to the Troll Skull Manor. Remember this place?
Yay! Has it burned down?
Ah, so good.
No, it hasn't burnt down. No, it is still there. Yeah.
How long have we been out?
It hasn't actually been that long. Maybe 10 day, which is a week here.
Okay.
It's not. Yeah, it hasn't been terribly long. I mean, it's a lot of time for us as human beings living in the world, but for you guys, characters living in Waterdeep and around here, not that long. But you go back there, and Regil is happy keeping the customers amused. Liff, remember good old Liff, he immediately takes your coats and hangs them up. Your dog's at the back doing doggy things. And Sally sees you, kind of grunts a little bit and goes back into the kitchen to cook. And Sam, Ned, and Havelock are happy to see you again. Say, oh, yeah, we've been promoting the Troll Skull Manor day in, day out. And why don't we see how much money you made during that time? So somebody roll me a D100 and I'll let you add 20 to it.
Woohoo!
Who wants to do it?
Not me. I always roll horribly.
I did it my first time and it went pretty well.
Do it.
Yeah.
D100
Mm-hmm.
Make it happen, man.
plus 20. Here we go.
More money. Yeah.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh, 93, so that'll be 113.
No, he added the
93
20
because
more.
I had 20 already.
Oh, 93 already. Okay. Okay. Just look up the table. So, the basic costs of running this place is 50 gold pieces per 10 day. That's the cost to pay Regil and Sally and get supplies in other various places. So 50 gold pieces is your expenses. And you rolled a 93. The business covers its own maintenance costs for each of these days, and it earns a profit of Joseph, since you rolled so well, only 3d10.
3d10. I do terrible at these.
7.
Hmm.
Yeah, you did. So it makes a profit of 35 gold pieces during the time you're away. So feel free to add 35 gold pieces to the party loot.
Okay, we'll do.
And
50 gold pieces, but that's okay.
and so there was a spell book, the second spell book we found. I don't need anything else out of it. I'm going to copy one spell tonight, a first level spell, so it only takes you 2 hours to do. So I'm just going to say I'm doing that right now, 2 hours for Tensor's floating disc, because we'll hang out here for like 2 hours if you guys don't mind, and we can sell a spell book unless you need it.
Which one?
It's the one that had dark vision in it.
From the Weasel. Blight, Burning Hands, Comprehend Languages, Spell, False Life, Aim, Death, Gust of Wind, Invisibility, Lightning Bolt, and Sleep. Do you have Gust of Wind and Blight?
I don't want them, so I'm not interested in those. I mean, we can so that's why we can sell the spell book, and if you didn't need it.
We have a bunch of spell books, don't we?
I only know of 2 since I've joined.
Okay, we have.
There is also Bookworm's Treasure, which is near you guys.
Mhm.
I'll just paste a screenshot into Discord. Those are the spells and the cost available for those, so you can buy any one of those if you wish.
Okay, we have the spell book from the Weasel, the spell book from the Invisible Wizard that we fought,
Yeah, those are the 2 I know of.
and then we have a spell book from the second floor that Snapper found in an office.
Do you have the spells noted in those?
Yes,
Yeah, I don't know those. Yeah.
Okay, good.
I'm keeping very good notes on.
Yeah, because I have good notes on the first 2 we found because I'm interested in those stuff, but there's some spells I just didn't care about for the second, so we can get more money. But if you want them, I mean,
I think that was actually the third one that you're talking about. Comprehend Languages, Crown of Madness.
yeah, I wasn't here for the first one.
Tensor's Floating Disc and Unseen Sir. So you're taking Tensor's Floating Disc?
Yeah, because that might help us get those the barrels of ale out.
Mm-hmm. I kind of want Gaseous Form. I think that would be really good on Snapper.
While they're doing that, I'm going to turn over all the trophies I've collected and give them written instructions to build shadow boxes for each one and then place them as decorations around the tavern.
Nice. Yeah, easy enough to do. Sam, one of the street guys, he says he's pretty handy with a hammer. And yeah, starts making nice boxes for them and mounting them up and giving them little plaques as directed by Snapper. Place is looking up.
And I have 2 paintings I cut out. I'll give them to put frames around them to put up as well.
Easy enough to do.
A unicorn, I think it was, and I'm checking my sheet up.
Nice, I like it. Troll Skull Manor is looking up every day. And now that Troll Skull Manor is doing well, it had a good week of business. Not so much like the first week of business, which was a disaster, but things are looking up. You got paintings up, you got pictures up, and these 2 gentlemen enter the bar, and they're quite well dressed, and they're holding some type of papers. And they say, let me speak to the owner, please. We have a business proposition.
We're the owners.
Well, let me produce myself. My name is Timothy, and this is James. And we represent a brewing company. And I don't mean to toot our own horn, but we have the best ale. In fact, it's an IPA, the best IPA in the world. I was originally developed in Baldur's Gate, but don't let it discourage you. One taste of this is good. We call it our Infernal Ale, and trust me, our motto is worth selling your soul for.
Nice.
Do you have any samples with you? Gotta try this out.
Course. And it brings out a small keg, like a sample thing. Beer pours you all a beer, and this beer is kind of got a slight red tinge to it. But just smelling it, it smells great. You're checking out the beer there, Snapper?
Yep.
You look at it. Other than it's coming from a really small keg, effectively, and the color is slightly red, and you smell it, and there's a slight, strangely enough, a slight hint of sulfur to it as well.
I don't like that.
Trust me. As I say, it's worth selling your soul for. Please, just try a sample.
I am proficient in poisoner's kit. Would that smell like something that a poison would smell like?
There are faint tinges of sulfur, but all the other hoppy goodness.
Okay.
Very much a background smell. And you think if it is poison, it's very, very mild.
Oh, all right. Here you go, Kane.
So wait, you don't want poison in your poison? I'm confused here, guys.
I'm gonna ask the guy. This is not poison, right?
No. Of course.
Inside check.
Okay, inside check.
Oh, not for me.
Balin, you're
Convinced? Yeah.
him at his word, it seems.
Bottoms up.
Why would he come for you and purposely sell you poison? Which Cross immediately points out. This is a business proposition. These are businessmen. And it's not in their best interest to poison their clients.
I'm not a
I'm
beer
gonna
guy,
give it.
but
I'm gonna
this
give.
sounds legit.
Who's
Ask
trying
him,
beer?
what kind of deal are you looking to make here? I mean, are you trying to bring your ale into our bar? Is there an advertisement?
Yes.
How's this? What deal would we strike here?
I'll put it this way. We stand behind our beer. We think this beer will take off, and we will supply you with a consistent stream of Infernal Ale, and your customers will love it. And so we'll sell more of our beer, you'll make money on our beer, win-win. Pretty much a wholesale type of agreement. What have you got to lose?
Well, I'm gonna sample it. Balin,
Do it.
Let's see.
Balin, they pour it out, and as I said, it's slightly red. It's slightly, very hints a smell of sulfur, but you drink it, and my God, this might be the best IPA you've ever had in your entire life. It's just delicious.
Wow.
Fantastic beer.
Guys, I think we want to think about this. This is some pretty good beer. Pretty good ale here. Not gonna lie.
Are we the first guys to sell this in Waterdeep?
And Waterdeep, yes. We have it started in the Elf Song Tavern back in Baldur's Gate, was where it initially got sold. No, it was the what was it? It was the something maze like. It was the. Do you remember Art or Rolo?
No, I forgot the name.
Me too. It's been a long time.
Well, can we get a exclusive contract for a certain length of time? So it will be your
We'll
exclusive.
supply it to you for a month, and then if you're prepared to expand it out to other ale houses, we could perhaps get you a cut on those deals as well. We're very much looking to establish ourselves in Baldur's Gate.
Uh-huh.
Snapper has concerns. Something just doesn't feel right.
It's going to stop us from selling our beer we've recently found.
I don't
Well,
think
No,
so.
no,
That.
not at all.
It'll just feel like we have a wider selection, which I don't see an issue with.
I'm more worried with what the selection is. If it smells of a little bit of brimstone or something, and it has infernal, I mean that could damage our business if we get a bad rep because of something we're serving our customers.
Why don't you try it? It's delicious.
It is delicious.
Did we
I think
trade?
it's
Side's very trusting, so he'll say fine.
Yeah, I mean, do you guys have a contract that we can look over and make sure have our attorneys?
Of course. Oh, you have attorneys, of course.
Adventurers at night and attorneys during the day.
Yeah, I went to night school for that.
okay. Let's do it.
Okay, so he brings out the contracts. It's a fairly standard wholesaler contract. They agree to give exclusive options to Troll Skull Alley. And after 1 month, basically the contract expires and they're going to renegotiate. There is an option there to become exclusive suppliers of this and possibly like a franchise type of agreement.
Are there any liabilities that where we'd assume on this, like if people got sick or if something else happened? Anything about liability in there?
There's nothing written in there. I mean, people get drunk and do stupid things on beer, as we all know. They're not gonna have liabilities from that.
So I mean, is it any? So we probably have a supplier. Is it any different than our existing alcohol? Okay, all right, that's good enough.
And everything, the guilds here run Waterdeep, and there is indeed a guild of inns, and they do take a certain cut. Like it's more like a union. It's not like a scam. They take a small like 5 gold pieces a month or something like that. And the goal is to A, make money from that, and B, to represent you. So you've kind of got the guild on your side as well.
Good. I know we're like really scrutinizing this. I'm thinking, how I guess my last question is the cost of this ale close to what we pay for our current ale or ales?
Well, I mean, we're established in Baldur's Gate. I mean, we did start in a place called the Labyrinth,
Oh,
and
that's true.
expanded into the Alsong Tavern and further from there. I mean, we can walk away from this if you want.
Oh no.
But tell me, was that not the best IPA you've ever had in your life?
It was really good. I'm sold. You guys should sample it, but it doesn't hurt. It's a 1-month contract.
Rigel takes a swig. Says, not joking. This is by far the best IPA beer, whatever it is. It's just absolutely delicious. Joseph, why don't you try some?
Huh?
And Rigel hands you a cup.
All right, try some.
It's delicious. Cyan, have a drink.
I'm not much of a drinker, but I'll take your word for it. I'm already on board.
Okay. Balan, you've tried it. Snapper, try some.
Snapper just pinches his nose and snubs it.
What about you, Cross? Surely you want to try this infernal IPA.
Sure, I'll do.
Yeah. And it is delicious.
Ooh.
Just fantastic. Full of flavor, full of body. As I say, almost worth selling your soul for.
Nice.
Okay, so sounds as if we've got a deal. Let's just say you run it past your guild representative and they're happy enough with the contract. It looks pretty standard. They're impressed that you've got this this exclusive deal. They try a sample of the Infernal IPA and it's delicious. And while you're selling the Infernal IPA, you're going to get a plus 20 to your rolls to see how much money you make on this business. I mean, this
Alright.
IPA is that good. Okay.
Nice.
So in case I forget that, remind me that you're selling Infernal IPA and that there's a plus 20 on your the percentage checks. Okay, so you've struck up the deal, which is good. Things are looking up for Troll Skull Manor. Syed and Joseph, I think it was. Did you get your spells sorted out?
So we have a spell book to sell.
Okay.
It's going to be. Shoot, I just lost it. Right here, I'm gonna post what spells. The one that Snapper found.
Yeah, spellbook for the second floor. Yeah, upper languages. Yeah.
That's going to take me a while to unravel, but I unravel it I shall, and I'll send you a message with exactly how much gold you got for that.
Okay. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, so you can sell that spellbook. Now I assume you guys want to do magic shopping.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We'll do that in just a second. I just want to do a little bit of a plot thing as well. So we'll do some shopping, but I just want to do this. So you need to talk to Volo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. And I assume the best place Volo said to talk to you is the Yawning Portal.
Mm-hmm.
So you head over to the Yawning Portal, and Volo is nowhere to be seen. You go to your contact side, 3 strings, and 3 strings says, "Oh my God, didn't you hear? Volo was seemingly asked all the wrong question, and he was badly hurt, and he's recovering in the hospital at the moment, and we're not sure if he's going to wake up, but it seems he was asking all the wrong questions. We're not sure if A, he's going to wake up, or B, he's going to survive, but whatever he was asking, some people didn't like him asking the questions. He
What,
might even be dead now, but he's very, very badly injured.
what was he asking?
I don't know. I don't know what he was asking, but he was attacked, and he was attacked badly. I think they assumed he was dead, but Volo somehow managed to survive, and somebody found him beaten up and broken in an alley, barely breathing.
I think we should go see him.
Yeah.
I can maybe help him with his condition.
The task you asked Volo to do was to look for something called a soul coin.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's the coin thing.
We'll leave the trip to see Volo for the next session, but I just wanted to leave that plot hood dangling, just to give us time to do some shopping. So, what are you guys after? What do you want?
I'd like some armor or a magic shield.
You can get your splint mail armor for the price as per the player's handbook, which was 200, I think. 300. Yeah.
200.
Any standard items in the player's handbook you can get at the price that it says in the player's handbook.
Oh, actually, is there a place? I don't know how you want to handle this, but is there a place that sells like crafting recipes for items I may want to work on building or making?
Yes, there would be. do your shield first. Oh yeah. So a +1 shield would cost you 1,500 gold pieces.
Okay.
That's too rich for me.
Yeah, not this trip.
Yeah, I'm just curious of like what we could find. Like if we're looking for, I mean, like what items are available, kind of thing. I mean, it's not that we can really buy stuff.
Yep.
Okay, well, most stuff is available. I have a little table here that I'm going through. So for an armor +1, any type, but you have to provide the armor. So for example, a +1 plate mail. Plate mail is usually 1,500 just to buy it. To make it a +1 armor will cost you another 1,500. So effectively it'll be 3,000 for +1 plate mail.
Sounds like I'm keep keeping what I got, guys.
And just as an example, to enchant an armor +3 costs 24,000 gold pieces.
Oh, folks.
Anything else you guys interested in?
Any type of like, actually, would the same apply for an arrow +1 or any? If there's any.
Each +1 arrow will cost you 25 gold pieces.
Oh, well, that's not that bad. Is there other types of arrows? Might have some other type of effect or additional damage or anything like that.
There's
For
+2 arrows for 100, +3 arrows for 400. It's not so much the arrows that are usually things. It's usually the things that shoot them.
Oh, actually, I guess that would be also a bow. What about a bow?
Well, there's the braces of archery that cost 1,500. Not sure off the top of my head.
How much did you say the +2 arrows were? I'm sorry, that was 100.
Yep.
100. Okay.
And
Right.
the braces of archery, which seems some of you might be interested in, you get a +2 bonus to damage rolls. Yeah, +2 damage.
Well, I will save my pennies for that.
And there's things like glamour studded armor, which is like armor, like studded leather armor that looks like normal clothing.
Oh, nice.
Things like that.
Glamour studded leather, 2,000 gold pieces.
Well, I'm gonna pick up 4 +1 arrows then. Just
Okay.
Okay, thank you. 100 gold.
Anything else you're interested in?
I'm gonna get the diamond.
Oh, yep. Easy enough to do. So just take 300 gold pieces and you have a diamond. Now, as I think I said before, I'm pretty loose on spell components, except for basically revivify and resurrection and things like that. So if you're down in the dungeon, someone does die. If Cross gets to them within a minute, he can bring them back to life. The way I play it is when you come back from the dead, you're at -4 to basically any D20 roll, save throws, ability checks, attacks, and a long rest will reduce it to -3, and so on and so on. So even if Cross does bring you back in the dungeon, you'll be at -4 to everything, and yeah, and then you'll either need another diamond because yep, you have 1 diamond at the moment.
Yep. But I think a diamond is more than enough. And Malcolm, just help me remember because I think I lost my notes on that. But did Cross also get like a magic plant that was able to become like sentient or something like that down in the dungeon? I have vague memories of that, but I cannot find it in my notes.
We had like a pot that you would plant a shrub in, animated shrub.
Yeah, animated shrub or something like that. Yeah, thank you.
I can't remember.
We found it in the mummy room, kind of where the owl bears were.
Okay. What level was that? Do you remember?
owlbears. That was two.
Yeah, there's lots of owlbears, and you say it's near a mummy.
The one with the coffins, mummy coffin.
Oh, the eyeball. Was it the eyeball also?
The eyeball ball. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. You have a pot of awakening. And I'll copy this into the chat for you. What a pot of awakening does. That's what it was.
Oh, thank you.
And there's another bit. The awakened shrub is a friendly towards you. So yeah. Random piece of trivia. I'm running another campaign, and they have an ally called Shrubby, who's an awakened shrub.
I had one called Berry Bee Bush, the berry bush.
Very good. So any other magic items? I mean, they are pricey, but you guys are 9th level, right? It's a lot of these things are extremely powerful. Or 8th level, sorry, whatever you are.
Yeah.
It's just getting the money for them. It's like there's things I want, but it's like I'm not even going to ask because I don't have the money for it, and I don't know if I'll ever have it. So, like I'm looking for I'd like to get gauntlets of org strength.
As soon as we open that vault,
But I'm not sure if that's going
for
to be something that
500,000
I'm ever going to be able
dragons.
to afford, even if you have.
Yeah, that's true. Once you open the vault, you're going to have lots of money.
Well, then you guys, does it have anywhere in Waterdeep gauntlets of org strength? Ogre strength?
So let's have a look. Yes, they do. Gauntlets of Ogre Power, mere 8,000 gold pieces.
Well, that's something I'm definitely looking for.
Can I sell a bunch of the ore and stuff that I have in the party loot, Malcolm?
Do you have the gold pieces value for it there?
Yep. Yes, I do.
Yep, just convert it into gold.
Okay, cool.
Awesome. Malcolm, I'm looking at the splint now. It looks like I could afford that. It's 200 gold pieces. But I have a question. So my character class, armor class for my character is 19, which I'm not sure how I can have that. It looks like chainmail 16 and the shield adds 2 to it, which would be 18. Is there something else that's a missing piece?
Dex.
Have a look.
Defense.
Dex modifier. Okay.
Well, Dex would go into heavy armor.
Yep,
I was just running around. Okay.
Is
Let's
that
have a look. So
okay?
you're wearing splint what are you wearing?
Right now, it looks like I have chainmail, and I was thinking that if I moved up the splint mail, it would go up. But as I looked at my armor class, I was like, well, wait, maybe I'm already there.
Yeah, so chain and you took defensive style so your defensive fighting style is +1 to your AC.
That's what it is. Okay, so if I get the splint mail, then my armor class will move up to 20 then. Correct?
Yeah, you could if you have 1,500 gold pieces, you could go all the way and get plate mail.
Wish, but don't.
Okay, that's 1,500. But yeah, you can get splint mail, absolutely.
Okay.
100 gold pieces and it's yours.
I will do that. I will decrease this. Thank you.
Okay.
Do you know how to easily add splint mail so it takes care of your armor class? Let me do that for you there, Kane.
Okay.
Some splint mail.
Yeah.
Splint.
Oh, can I ask you? Is the split mail over the top of my chainmail? It is, right? Yes. Okay.
It's yeah. Your chainmail is effectively. I made it not equipped, so your armor class now is probably dropped to 13. But you put on your splint. Oops. Put on your splint. Splint armor. Oh, why is it? Sorry, just a sec. Roll20 is being annoying. So we drop splint. Stop it.
I'm glad you're working on it for me.
It's being annoying. What's it doing for. Where is it? Yeah, let me. That. This is a compendium. Item splint armor. Let me do this offline as well. But you have splint armor, and your armor class will start at 17. And then what was it before?
I was 19 before, and then I had the shield, and then the defensive.
The shield.
Yep.
That's what I'm forgetting. The shield. The splint armor starts at 17. With your shield, it'll go to 19, and with your defensive fighting style, it'll go to 20. So
That's great.
Class will be 20.
So my question for you is, the price for the splint mail, I'm assuming that had chainmail underneath it. Is there any value of me selling the chainmail that I have, or is it really just the splint mail is additive to the chainmail that I already had?
No, it's a whole separate thing. I'll tell you what, you can have it for 175 if you trade in your chainmail.
Nice, I'll do it. That was worth the question. Thank you.
Okay.
25 back on here.
Okay, is there anything else that people want?
Joseph.
Yeah.
Do you want to do you want me to write down tongues, or do you want to take it? I think you're the...
Is that for another book you're going to sell?
No. That's for the spell scroll that we got from the...
Oh, you go ahead and you can transpose that. That's you want to do that, right?
Well, I'm just asking you just because you're the more charismatic one.
Oh, yeah, I'll do that. I'll take it, and I'll yeah. What level is it? 3?
It's 3.
Yeah, I'll take that, and do I have the gold for it?
We could probably just, since it's like a party one, I vote for just using party loot for that. We have quite a bit in party loot, so if anyone needs money, we have 2,173 in party loot.
Wow.
Yeah, if you don't mind, yeah, because I mean that's what I'd use it for when we have social situations when we need to be deceptive.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Should I get
Like
another
it.
diamond, or were we good with one?
What do you guys think? We may not be down here for a while again. So maybe get a second diamond?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Back up. Yeah.
So I'll take out the money from party loot then.
Is tongues? It's not ritual, is it?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to move stuff around, but yeah, definitely.
Okay. And I'll post my spell book a little bit, so if you want to take anything.
Well, yeah,
It's
money wise, but yeah.
to copy those spells offline and just obviously make sure
Yeah.
you take off the appropriate gold to copy them. But it's definitely something you can do offline.
Malcolm, can I get back to you offline with maybe a common magic item?
Sure.
Why? Okay. Yeah, because I'm looking at lists, and there's a lot, and some of them seem pretty cool, but not like extremely expensive. So, yep.
There we go. And I worked out your armor cane, so you have splint mail armor, and your AC is 20.
Nice. Thank you, sir.
So all that effort to do it automatically, and I don't know. I refreshed roll 20, and then it worked.
Oh,
So
great.
that goes, same thing goes for the rest of you. If you want to take some time offline and look for common magic or any magic items, in fact, I will price it out for you. And yeah, we'll do that offline.
All right. Cool.
Another question we have is do we want to stay up here and go for the loot you guys have been talking about, and Volo and all that, or do we want to head back down below and help out Skullport right now? I think I like to stay up here in Waterdeep a little bit. What do you guys think?
Yeah, they
Cool.
said there was no hurry on
Yeah.
Skullport.
We could maybe solve a couple of things here, and then head down.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to get some sweet loot.
Well, there's two items you need to find to unlock the Dragon Bolt. I mean, you have the Azure Edge, which is great. You have Volo, who is looking for the Soul Stone.
Soul Code, right?
Soul Coin, sorry, Soul Coin. And what was the other one?
Three,
There's,
three strings. It's like a necklace of mazes or something.
Necklace of Mazes, that's right. Yep. And we'll do that next session as well. The Necklace of Mazes and the Soul Coin. And one other thing, I won't be able to run a session next week because it'll be Christmas Eve next week, and then the week after that it'll be New Year's Eve. And I know some of you got kids and stuff, so important days, right? So we'll be taking a break for 2 weeks.
Yep.
Coming back on the 7th.
Okay.
So I know people have, you all have lives as well. You're not all Syed all the time or all Crosk all the time. There's real lives out there.
Sadly. But yeah.
Sadly. Yeah. What did you think of the Infernal IPA there, Rollo?
I love it. I really like that lore interweaving.
Do you want to tell people how Infernal IPA was invented?
Yeah, sure. So I think Art knows the backstory, but on the previous campaign, there was we were doing Descent into Avernus. I was playing a warlock that was basically like a dwarven brewer that sold his soul for the recipe of the Infernal IPA. So his whole quest was going down to hell to try to regain his soul, just because of a beer. So yeah,
So when that's worth selling your soul for, someone actually did.
exactly.
Wow.
Things did end up well for the dwarf, though. He effectively became a devil under the rule of other devils. Turned into a pit fiend, in fact, in the end.
Yeah. But I think it was a cool story and a good end for a character. That was very
It was
fun.
a good arc. And the arc continues with the Infernal IPA. And it was kind of interesting because I knew that Art and Rollo knew what was going on, but I liked how suspicious everybody else was.
Yeah, right.
Infernal IPA.
I don't know. Maybe it's poisonous. What's going on here? Yeah.
Yeah, so we could have given the game away, but we didn't. But I thought that was a nice little tie-in. So as I said, I'll get back to you with the price of that spell book.
Mm-hmm.
You've planted the magic shrub, Crosk, and just email me anytime, and I'll get back to you when I can. And I hope everybody has a pleasant holiday.
Mm-hmm.
And bring on 2021.
Yeah, for sure. Let's close this year out.
I've had enough of 2020. And, things are
Everyone have
going on
great
with vaccines and stuff. So 2021. But I'll see you guys in the new year.
Okay, thanks all.
Good.
Sure.
Easy, guys.
Take care, everyone. Happy
Happy
holidays.
holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Take
Bye.
care.